and welcome to Silo Watch for August 24th. Tonight is episode 8. So thank you if you're joining us. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to SciFi Vision, ignore the Twitch spam in the chat, and please check out our interviews at scifivision.com and on the video tab. We have a bunch of stuff that will be going up this week. I just posted the Monarch interview earlier tonight. So
who's it with? Who's it with?
It is with the I don't know his name without looking. Hold on. With the VFX supervisor, yeah, Sean Conrad. So that's going up now, and there's one for Murderbot going up soon. So lots of stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Well, but tonight is Silo, and also for anybody who doesn't know, tomorrow we have Fandom Access at 10 Eastern with the Ark, Star Trek, Strange New World, Dead City, and Lanterns, and then our librarian show is on Wednesday. So, hi, Kelly. Well, so what did you guys think of this one? Like, I feel like a lot of stuff happened in this episode. We're moving towards the end. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I enjoy the return of Steve Zahn, or Solo, or Jimmy, and all the kids. I miss the kids.
I agree. It was great to see Steve Zahn. He stole the episode. He steals every episode.
Yeah, he does eat, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
You know, it's funny. Usually I feel like the story in the silo is more compelling than the story in the past, the Daniel and Charlotte story. Yeah. And I have felt the pacing has been kind of slow and not right on that past storyline. This week, I feel like there was so much important information that I wish they would have given us maybe a little more drama in that action on the silo farm.
It was just kind of like expedition dinner.
Yeah, right? Like, I feel like that was so important and could have been so dramatic.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, in the silo, like all that time that we spent in the silo could have been summed up in like one sentence. Like, Juliet tries to do whatever, right? I feel like the balance was not. I feel like we almost could have had a whole episode set in the past had they done it better. And at the same time, I feel like George and Lucas's Kennedy and Lucas's, his name is Patrick Kennedy, I think, right? Kennedy and Lucas's arrival in 17 with Solo, that also could have been more dramatic. Like, I wanted to see like Kennedy's mind blown and Lucas's mind blown about like, right?
About looking at a picture of a bear and the butterfly on the wall and stuff like that.
Right.
That wasn't a whole lot.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe they should have split it different. I wonder if it would have worked better if they did like one episode, the silo, one episode, the past. I sometimes think maybe it's the going back and forth that kind of screws it up, you know? Don't know. But
I always forget, Scarlet, you have not read these books, right?
I have not read these books. You are correct.
I feel like the way the book went down with that whole storyline in the past, like I feel like there's a lot more that I don't know if we can get into episodes.
Yeah,
maybe 3 is not purely going to be what the third book is. Shift, no, Dust is the third book, right? Maybe we're going to get a merging of Shift and Dust in the third season, fourth season, whatever the next season is.
Yeah, we were fourth. We were talking about this last week. Like, I don't know that. Are you gonna is season 4 gonna be like both stories continuing, or is it gonna be just the silo story? Because we were talking about the idea of like, do we need to? I mean, I don't know because I haven't read the book, but I mean, potentially they could end that past story and just go with the silo. I feel like I'm not, without having read the book, it's hard to say that, but I don't know if we need that story to continue. It depends where it goes. Like, I would be okay with, now that we know, well, not yet, but once we know, like, why they have the silos and everything, that like, that could be the end of that story. We know at some point they got to get in the silo because otherwise they couldn't have their artifacts. But I mean, other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, and I also think they're going to have a couple kids by then, Helen and Daniel here.
Well, I mean, supposedly, like, eventually, so there's going to be, 100 or 200 people per silo for the test, and then eventually, supposedly, like, a lot more people.
Oh, we know something happens that gets them in there. But, I mean, I always focus on that Georgia for Kids, like, book that was, was in other seasons. And I feel like that might be Daniel's book he got for his kids when he was, like, running to the silo when, like, whatever was happening. The goo was happening. The gray goo.
Yeah, the gray goo. This episode is entitled Gray Goo, actually.
That was one thing I wanted to ask you guys about, though, because I did not understand why someone, I don't know if it was just conjecture. I didn't read the whole article, but somebody was reporting that, like, they told how, like what happened and why they needed the silos. They didn't say that any of that happened. Those are like all the potential things that could happen.
Correct.
Okay, because I don't know why, because I saw this article and it didn't make a lot of sense. It was trying to say like a nano cloud did this. And I'm like, you don't know anything. The only thing that said was that they went, Charlotte's, her squadron went through the nano cloud and that they intended to kill them all anyway. And that was the only thing we got with that.
Well, Helen speculated that, right? We don't really.
Well, considering they didn't deny it, I feel like that was kind of confirmation. At least to me was confirmation, because they didn't say, oh no, we didn't intend to kill you anyway. We didn't do that. And then now we're like inviting you on this, $1 trillion silo. Like there's got to be a reason why they invited her, right? Like maybe they feel guilty. I don't know.
I mean, we can get to that. As Lilo points out, they are veering from the books a bit, but I think next season we get Silo 1. I agree they're veering from the books. And one thing, I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to read the books. I don't want to spoil anything, but Helen's role is very different in the books. Helen is a less prominent character in the books.
Mm. That's too bad, because I like her.
I like her too. She's kind of my favorite character in the past, right? Because everybody's kind of a giant jackass in the past, except for her. And
she's like the voice of reason. I like when she's like, you could cure homelessness. You could cure Alzheimer's. I
mean, I hope she lives, because she's the smartest person in 20, what is it supposed to be, 2039, whatever, when it 20.
Okay. I didn't even know what year that was.
Well, in the book, I think it's 2049, but he wrote that book like years ago. I think in the show, it's supposed to be like, is it 2028? I don't know. Like it's very similar to now, except you have nano clouds and you have giant drills, right? As far as we know.
Pretty much. Seems like it. And nanobots.
She's a smaller background character in the book. She's clearly the smartest person in the room in this episode, right? So I hope that her genes will be passed along to humanity.
Hopefully they were passed along, so she has to get there somehow. That's the way I look at it. So we start out with Kennedy and Lucas waking up. Now we knew from the end of because they had the audio of them saying they were alive the end of last episode.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. But this time we get to see kind of, what happened from this. Do we have nanobots? That's what I was going to say. We don't have nanobots like that. I mean, not like what they're talking about anyway. I mean, we have like mini robots and stuff, but I don't know. I don't look
that we know about.
That we know about. That's true.
That we know about.
Yeah. Because it'd be nice if you could like use nanites to to heal people and stuff like that. Not that the show has anything to do with that. Just saying.
I mean, I think we have some. I mean, I'm not a nano expert or a bot expert, but I think that we have like, I don't know. I think in the way that they exist in the show, no, we don't have them, right? But do we have like we do have little tiny little things that can go in your body and help a doctor like fix you up, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And we have like smart like materials, right? Like I think maybe we're not that far. If we have an engineer, Lilu, you say we have it. We could probably do a whole separate show about this, but I'm inclined to believe it. I'm just not informed. But not like they are on the show. Not like they are on the show.
Thankfully, not like that. So anyway, so we see them wake up and we get to see what happened to them after we conjectured that they were shot by a drone. I don't think they ever show what shot at them, but clearly it's a bullet wound that
Lucas.
Sorry, I blanked out there a second. That Lucas thought it's a bullet wound. So they did get shot, but they do make it to Silo 17. They climb over all the bodies, which like that had to be like, that was like a lot. Like, see, this show costing a lot of money, right? We were talking earlier about like this show, I understand costing that.
Lots of props.
Yeah, lots of props. Other show, maybe not as much.
Yeah, and I get like, does a part of me want to see like Kennedy and Lucas be like shocked and horrified? Yes, but we did see that when Juliet had to climb over them last season. So, like, do we have to see it again? I guess not, right?
I feel like I would have liked it a tiny bit, though. I feel like it feels a little strange that they weren't freaked out at all. I mean, maybe she told them what to expect, so maybe that makes a difference. I don't know, but I felt even if she said, like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, when she wanted the other ones to go out in their place, she said how like they needed somebody strong. Like she don't know if she could do that knowing what was coming. So yeah, I don't know. The fact that they didn't really react very much.
Well, I think they were acting more. I think Kennedy was just trying to get Lucas to a place where he could get operated on because that was the focus and not so much walking over the dead bodies.
All right, fair. That's fair.
I had to accelerate it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she wanted to send Knox and Shirley, right? And she was denied.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Yes.
Which didn't really matter anyway, because there were some of them at night and they broke the whole policy anyway. So
yeah, it didn't really matter. But I don't know. I just think they should have had some kind of reaction a little bit.
Susie says, I didn't like the weird mushy, not mushiness. I think Susie might be talking about the dead bodies being mushy, not mushy when they walked on them.
I don't know. I don't know.
She meant emotionally mushy, not actually physically mushy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she meant there.
Just gooey.
Gooey. Well, the episode is called Grey Goo. Oh, that's true. It's nighttime, so seeing the bodies hits differently. Yeah, I guess they didn't get a good view of them. That's a good point. That's true.
All right.
I mean, I still would have been freaked out, but I could see like she had a much clearer view when she was down there. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so they make it to Silo 17. The kids quickly let them in. They're like, let us in. You know, Juliet sent us. So they, believe them. But they are worried about the poison. And he's like, hey, I was shot. If I had poison, I'd be dead by now. I do kind of question that if this poison is still prevalent, like, wouldn't it have gotten in and hurt him? But apparently not. And therefore, they're okay. They didn't really explain that other than that was his reasoning of why they didn't have poison on them. Because if it's outside, I kind of question that. But
okay, so let's put a pin in that. I mean, Lucas, I guess he's been shot. He's making his best educated guess about why he has not been poisoned, right? But it's a good point, Jamie. Like, if there's poison everywhere, which supposedly degraded everybody's suits in the past, right? Why is he not poisoned?
Question.
Yeah. Because it seems
it's probably not poison. And if it's not poison, then what is it?
I don't know, because I have to wonder, like, I know whenever Juliet like came into the other one, they had the decontamination. Like, there seems to be nothing there, right, to protect him. Hey, Fletcher.
Yeah, like in 18, when you come in, go out or come in, they blow this like argon gas into the air. They have an airlock where they blow gas to prevent any poison from coming in, right?
Yeah, or even just the fire would burn away a lot of the poison where they have nothing. But I guess you're supposed to forget about that. It's neither here nor there. But
well, I don't know if you're supposed to forget about it. I mean, are you supposed to forget about anything on this show?
I don't know. Could they be releasing the poison when they send people out to clean? I mean, I think that's why they go through the decontamination thing when they go through, so that doesn't happen. Because I think they spray them on the way out too, don't they? I think like they go into a separate chamber, but I feel like they got sprayed on the way out too. Maybe I'm
go
wrong.
into an airlock, but I mean, I think is Kelly suggesting that they could release a localized cloud of poison right around the silo that like goes through your suit and kills you before you can get too far. And for some reason, Juliet, well, she had the better suit, so she evaded that.
Oh, like the poison's only released when they go out to clean. Like there's no poison otherwise.
I think that's what Kelly suggested.
Yeah, no, I see that what you're saying. I thought I misunderstood what you meant. Yes, it's possible. I mean, it could be like a fail safe that's there that when they come out, it's ready to go off. Who knows?
I mean, Kelly, I put words in your mouth, so please chime in if that is
not. Tell us if we're taking that wrong. I'm going to go on a limb here and say the second poison came from the same place as the first poison. Well, we don't know. I guess the answer is we don't know, other than the poisons coming through the pipes, which is what they're trying to suppress, supposedly. I mean, the poison comes into the silo from the pipes. There's supposed to still be poison air outside, so I'm not even sure.
Are they separate like the air is just they're saying the air is just poison outside, but the poison that's piped in is coming from silo 1, right?
I think so. Yeah. Whoops. Yes, that's what she meant. I didn't mean to put that up, but there you go. That's what she meant. All right. So
I mean, Fletcher, I'm a book reader. Fletcher, I'm a book reader also, and so I am going to stay and not spoil, but I appreciate your lack of self-restraint and your departure so as not to spoil. Thank you.
So your self-restraint. You said your lack of self-restraint. Your self-restraint. We know what you meant. Yes, she's saying Susie's saying poison pipes, poison drones. I guess the drones could have poisons. I mean, I assumed the drones just had bullets, but I don't know. Maybe we'll find this out before the end of the season. Hopefully, a little bit more about the safeguard and exactly how all that works. So this is where they help Lucas here. I like that they like figure out how to save him from the bullet hole just by like reading in a book how to sew him up, which is also how they fix the radio, which is a little far-fetched but also kind of funny, and I kind of appreciate it.
I don't think it's that far-fetched. I mean, my problem with it was when they were talking later about putting all this art and stuff in the silos, but then they repressed it, so I don't understand why they put all the art and stuff in the silos. But books are knowledge. Knowledge is power.
They always do in all these apocalyptic stories. They want to see Mona Lisa and these Picassos. I will say, Jamie, I picked up somewhere. I have a copy of like this Army medical field manual that's like this thick, and it's like a whole book about what to do if is your ankle sprained? Is it broken? What should you do? Did you get bit by a snake? Did you burn yourself? Did you do this? Did you do that? And it's a whole book about like how to do like emergency field medicine. I am inclined to believe that they would stock the silos with like medical books and things like that. They only had like, as far as we know, there was one doctor in 17 and he's dead now, right? Or in 18.
Yeah, well, especially if they're erasing their memories with this. If they erase their memories with the forgetting drugs, I would assume the doctors wouldn't know how to do stuff either. So yeah, I get that. I'm just saying that I find it funny. I just find it funny that they read a book and they fix his bullet wound that quickly. But it's TV.
But that's all. That's all.
Just them. Sorry. What?
I mean, that's all Solo does. He just sits in that room and reads, and he just spits out all those interesting facts to Juliet.
All right, fair. And they've been the only ones taking care of themselves. So.
Is it because as a child of the 21st century or the 20th and 21st century, would you feel better if he was like Googling how to remove a bullet? Like, or is it just the idea that you could be untrained and like read something and figure it out?
Yes, I'm just saying to that quickly, just pick up a book and be like, oh, this is all I got to do to save his life. But like, it's nothing new. I mean, they do that in other shows too. I just thought it was funny the way they did it because it's also how he fixed the radio. He's like, the book knows how to do it. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, that's what books are for. I think they're really just making it like these people, Jimmy has books and he knows how to do stuff, and other people in the silo don't have books and are oppressed and they don't know how to do stuff.
And you're right. I mean, Scarlet has a point that all he's done for his entire life is read for like 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or listen to music, or just take in humanity's best, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do question though if they don't have a lot of things like books, and I mean they must have medical books in the other silo, right? Because if they're making them forget things, they can't have doctors know how to do things without having to guide somewhere, right?
Well, it does seem that they're able to make you like remember this whole bit with Charlotte, how they made her forget, but she didn't forget how to walk, eat, speak, read, fly a plane, drive a car, right? Like they made her they were able to very either make her not forget or quickly restore like a lot, right? Like when we were babies, it took us like a year to learn how to walk and to talk, and it takes us years to learn how to read and do anything.
Yeah.
And she like she didn't forget like everything.
Yeah,
or
and
she
talked about
remembered a
this
lot of that, right?
before. I feel like that's a weakness of the story, that it's like selective forgetting, but you're just supposed to accept that because really, yeah, I don't know. But then again, they said they forgot to eat though, right? Because these people committed suicide because they forgot to even eat. It was my understanding from what they said last week. It seemed like they didn't know how to function. So I'm not sure how they forget some of that, but yeah, they retain their medical knowledge.
Overdosed on the drug a little too much or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, it's part of the story. You just have to take in.
I would be curious how many books they have, because they were treating that Georgia guide like it was contraband. So I don't know what they would consider a relic and what they wouldn't consider a relic. And it seems like knowledge is held really close to the chest, but they do have that school as well. I don't know what they teach in that school.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Just the pact. Teach the pact all day.
Yeah, they teach the pact all day. Lilu does have a point, though. It wasn't life ending. It was just a bullet in his shoulder. So maybe I'm making more out of it than it was. But I would still think you could bleed to death pretty quickly. Although on TV, not really. You can bleed all over the place on TV and you're still fine. So.
Well, and I think even without a book, like if you and I were out somewhere and you were shot, you'd be like, I might die, Karen, if you can't get that out of my shoulder. You have no book, you have no nothing. Try,
use your teeth. Use your teeth, Jamie.
Yeah, now I guess that's a good point. You'd find something, you'd find tweezers or whatever, dunk them in alcohol, pull it out, and find a way to stitch it.
Like a badass, yep.
Yeah. All right. So
Give
either way,
whiskey.
With the whiskey,
There he is.
Either way, they do somehow save him and get rid of the bullet and make him whole again. And they need to figure out about the pipe. I mean, that's what they're what they're there for. But before they do that, they have to fix the radio because he knows that they need to tell Juliet and everybody that they're fine. So Solo works on fixing the radios again from the book. And he does get it fixed in order to give it to Kennedy, who doesn't want to be given these responsibilities. He can't even remember his name. His, in code name. But he does finally call and tell them that they're okay. He says that, they've made it to level 17, and that the kids are okay. So that if anybody hears it, they'll just brush it off as not an important message. If anybody in Silo 1 or whatever that they had said before was listening to all the channels, hopefully they will ignore. And then that's whenever, Walker's trying to tell the other guy, abort the bomb because they're still alive. Because
I did like this scene, how it was a callback to last episode where we saw Walker this is a little flashbacky in this episode, but we saw that last episode where Walker was like, get off the line. And there's all that drama where she's like trying to make them. I did like how they brought these two episodes together in time that way.
Yeah, we're seeing the opposite side of that. But the point was they sent them out with the bomb whenever Kennedy and Lucas didn't come back. And now that they're alive, or not didn't come back when they thought they were dead. And now that they know that they're alive, they don't have to set off the bomb. So they do get it stopped in time, which we already knew from last episode. But Solo talks to Juliet for a minute. There's a little bit of that, which we don't really learn anything, but he does talk to her. So that's nice. They get to reconnect. But yeah, everybody is safe. They may be forever stuck at Silo 17 now. I don't know how they're going to get back, but maybe I guess it's kind of better over there in a way, right?
Can I ask you guys a question? how do you feel about Juliet's, like, she's so concerned about these kids? I know part of it is a ruse to tell Camille that she wants to save these kids when what she really wants is to learn how to cap the pipe. But she does exhibit a real concern about these kids in this episode, which I feel is kind of new. Like when she left 17 last season, was she like, stay alive, I will save you, I will bring you, right? Like this seems to me to be a little bit of a new, not that Juliet didn't care about them or hated them, but this idea that she's gonna rescue them and bring them seems to be more than just a story, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the idea was before, if she didn't get out of there, none of them were going to be saved. So, she had, like, whether she wanted to take them with her or not, she couldn't. She had to get out of there. But yeah, I mean, I think she cares about trying to save them. Like I said, I don't know how the hell they're going to get any of these people out of that silo, but
they didn't bring extra, like, kid size coats and stuff for them.
I thought of that. I'm like, they're supposed to be going over there to save them, and they don't have to
bring them over. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think those two things have to be mutually exclusive. I think she did want to save the kids too. She was just focused on problem A first, then problem B.
No, but I'm just saying, if she was sending them specifically for there, you think she would have sent them with suits, like it to at least make it look like the algorithm she was trying a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, if I recall correctly, it did seem at the end of last season that Hope wanted to go with her and she would have taken Hope, aka Eater. It wasn't really clear to me those other ones even wanted to go with her, right? And I don't know. I just felt like, wow, Juliet's really, like, look, she's a compassionate person. She doesn't want young people to die. There's a baby in there. I get that. It just seemed to me to be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Lulu says, I don't think it's new. She's shown all throughout that she tends to put others ahead of herself. Yes. Okay. That's totally a great comment. That's true. She does put others ahead of herself always.
Yeah, she does. Hey, Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hello.
Okay. So anyway, she's a little emotional for them.
Yeah. But I mean, they've got tons of shit going on this episode, so she can't focus on that for too long. But yes, she does care about them, it seems like. And then meanwhile, in the past, we have Daniel and Helen being brought to the silo site where they get to see the huge digger that he designed. He finally gets to see that it's there.
Well, he didn't. He designed a small prototype. He didn't design this thing.
Okay,
right?
Well.
Prototype.
Yeah, might have been a prototype, but either way, he was like supposed to be the one that led to the creation of the digger or whatever. I don't know. She said something before about he designed something. I thought he designed a digger, but
okay. Can I interrupt you for a second to say that my father set the air conditioning to 82 degrees. Oh my God, I'm dying in this house. Sorry, I'm so hot. Oh my God. All right. Anyway,
that's what they used to say to do in San Diego. They said, set it for 82. And I'm like, I'm not setting any air for 82 here.
Yeah, right. Not in the summer. No, thank you.
Yeah. But I mean, Jamie, I'm splitting hairs. Daniel designed this kind of drill thingy digger when he was in the Army Corps, and wealthy Colin Hanks, Per Stinson, has just adapted it to his humanitarian or nefarious purposes, depending on how you feel about this character.
Yeah, for sure. Which I do have some squabbles about what the conversation that later Helen has with him, but we'll wait till we get to that part. But there's a picture of the digger.
That's a cool shot.
It is. It's interesting. Like it's kind of weird looking for like a digger. I don't know what I expected it to look like, but like there's like, walkways and stuff on the top of it. It's so huge. But now the digger, I'm going by.
Sorry, it doesn't look a little bit like. I have never been on an oil rig, but in movies, oil rigs have a lot of stuff like that, like walkways and towers and stuff, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. But I was gonna say, no, they saw. I thought when they were down in the down deep or whatever, the below last season, they saw part of this, right? Because they left the diggers there. I mean, they even said that. So they've got to be still in the silo, right?
Well, they do say in the episode, Daniel says, why you just leave the diggers down there, right? And so that is probably what we did see it in the past, but we didn't really know it was just a machine that was down there, right? Or part of a machine, right? Like we didn't, this makes the connection now in this episode.
Yeah, but that's what it is. I wonder if they could use it to dig their way out, though, if it's still down in the silo, like, or dig their way to the other silo or something. I don't know that they'd be able
I was
to
thinking something similar.
Yeah,
Except
although I don't know how you get it sideways.
I was going to say the same thing. Great minds, Jamie. It looks like it goes straight down, not sideways. But
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know how you'd get it turned, but you could try. Hey, B. Appreciate it. Let's see. Lilu is right. Whoops. Trillionaires are always bad in these shows. Pretty much in any show, yeah, there's a trillionaire. He's not a good guy. But look, hey, to be fair, I mean, I don't know that Pierre is bad. I mean, he is, yeah, they're kind of making it seem like he's not the best guy. And he maybe is selfish, I don't know. But he is, creating these to save humanity. I mean, yes, he's maybe got ulterior motives and he's got a savior complex and all that stuff. But I mean, it's not like he's making these tiny silos for like 50 people and saying, I'm only saving the rich, right? I mean, this is like for everybody, or at least for all the people around. Granted, they can't save everybody, but I mean, it's not just like he's creating this only for a small few.
Well, he is creating it for a small few.
Comparatively, yes. Comparatively, yes. But
I would say to you, to anybody out there listening, trillionaires are always bad in these shows. I mean, I don't know a trillionaire that I consider good in life. So maybe somebody likes. Actually, the first trillionaire in the world was Elon Musk, right? So take that for what it's worth. I think that he is kind of bad because typical of a trillionaire in a show, Paris Stinson is making decisions for the human race without telling anyone. It's a secret project. Mm-hmm. Lilu, it's 100% silo for the first 5 years of testing, right? And then it will be open to, we know that a silo can accommodate 10,000 people. That's what's in each silo now. I think what he said was 100 people for the 5-year test period. He was doing the math. I'm going to pay them for 5 years, 200 a year, blah, blah, blah. But Jamie, I think that he's made this decision on how to save humankind, and he's only told 3 people. I think what's typical of a bad trillionaire is like, I know better. I know the best. I'm going to save the world. This is my plan. You know what he could have done was tell every single government around the world how you can build silos and you can save people also if you have the money. And I have so much money, let me, right? Like he's saving Americans only.
Yes, that is.
Well, of course.
I'm just thinking of it compared to like when we watched like Snowpiercer. Like
okay.
It's a different feeling. Yes, you're right. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying it seems to be a different scale to me. Like he's not just making this tiny arc and saying, okay, only the richest people in the world get to be on here. Like it's eventually to be for thousands and thousands of people.
I mean, Jimmy, he hasn't said everybody gets in. He didn't say who gets in.
I think he's just going to let rich people in.
Maybe he's going to let rich people in. He didn't.
He's going to charge. Maybe he's going to charge for it. You don't know.
Maybe he's going to charge. He really did not say who gets in.
That's true. Yes, you're right.
Innocent me, I don't even know what a trillion is. Do you even know what a trillion is?
You know, he's such a dick.
Yes.
He is a dick. I don't know. It just to me feels different than some of the evil, people like this was my point I was trying to make.
I get it. I mean, in Snowpiercer, you could argue, was he insane before this all began? You look at a movie like 2012, they definitely were selling tickets to rich people. I think Jamie, I think Jamie, to your point, he thinks he's being a humanitarian and he thinks he's doing the right thing. But I think he has a level of hubris there. Like, I'm so smart. I became a trillionaire. I know what's best. I don't really need to ask the government or tell anyone.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That part's true. But right now they are having dinner here. At least I think it's dinner. I don't know, a meal. And talking about what this silo is, and they start going into the idea that he tells them, there's any number of ways that the human race could end, and that they're going to create the silos so that they can save and rebuild humanity. And because they call it seeds, as we said earlier, or somebody said earlier in the chat, that it's basically for repopulation. And they're saying, we hope we never need it, but that's what this is, right?
Yeah. With the added little part where he says there's 10 ways, all these ways the world could end, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be nanobots.
Yeah, because he says I probably became a trillionaire because I knew that governments were going to use nanobots instead of nuclear war because it was cheaper. Is how I said it. And they talk about how what they said was going on with Iran was not a dirty bomb. It was a nano bomb or a nano whatever to do with nanites. And, there's a lot of discussion about that.
But it wasn't even Iran. They set it off themselves to prove their own point, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
Wait, what? Say that again?
It wasn't, Iran didn't do it. They set it off themselves and then blamed Iran as a dirty bomb. They set off Helen in the scene. Helen's like, oh my God, you guys totally set it off yourselves, right? Like Helen figures out that Pear and Senator Thurman, they're behind it, and they set off the nano fake dirty to prove their own point, right? Or is it only the Charlotte mission they did themselves? I think they did the dirty bomb themselves, right?
They might have. I don't know. That part wasn't super clear. To me, the one thing was that they were going to let all the pilots die and had every intention of everybody dying that went on that mission. That was the thing that was clear out of all that.
All right, I'm Googling this.
Hi, Doc. I want to bring, let's see. Hey, Anything for Freedom says it's so fancy greenhouse for dining rather than plants. It is pretty though, isn't it? Like I could see like a engagement party or something. Like in all seriousness, it's really pretty. I know that that's not the point, but it is.
They had some beautiful horses there too. There's some lovely horses.
They did. I like though. Lilu's studies showed that the majority of CEOs are psychopaths.
Yeah.
I think they're
picking. Almost have to be one to be the leader, I guess.
Be the seeds they might be. And Anything for Freedom says they do think that America set it off. So yeah, maybe that wasn't super explained, I guess.
I mean, according to what I'm seeing, I'm doing a little Googling. Iran set it off. It wasn't a dirty bomb. It was nano. They lied, but they did. Stinson and Thurman did do the whole Charlotte thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Iran had attacked us. They were just saying it wasn't really a dirty bomb, but maybe I don't know for sure because I'd have to rewatch it. But
we'll get to it. It's a long explanation, which I just Googled up, and we'll get to it in a little bit more in the scene about remember they built a humongous tunnel from Turkmenistan to Iran. We'll get to that in a second, I guess.
Yeah. That stuff with Charlotte, and that isn't quite yet. This is about them explaining, about how they're going to have the silos and about how there's a point where Daniel says you should have 50 diggers instead of 10 because they intend to have 10 diggers make five silos each. And he's saying that, you're going to spend so much money pulling up the digger and moving it to the next site that it's actually cheaper just to make 50 diggers. And I'm guessing he's probably going to do that because he says something doesn't he say something like, if you want 50 diggers, we'll get 50 diggers, something like that.
I like the scene. It is kind of ridiculous that Daniel is the only engineer. It seems like a pretty basic engineering question that any number of Stinson's highly paid engineers should have come up with. It's cheaper to just have 50 right? But maybe he's lying to everyone, and that's why Daniel was the only one to come up with it because he's the only one who knows the truth.
That's the kind of the one thing that I keep coming back to me that doesn't make a whole bunch of sense about the story. And I don't know if it's just it's a plot hole or I'm looking too much into it. But the one thing I never understood and I still don't understand is yes, I get maybe they don't need to kill these people and they try not to kill people and they're not just, killing everybody. And I get that. But why invite Daniel and Helen and Charlotte? they're not, who are they that they're so important that they want them to be a part of this project? Like Daniel, okay, he's an architect, or not an architect. I think in the book he was an architect, I read, but here he's whatever. He designed the digger potentially. And Helen is a reporter. Like they could have any reporter leak the story about what's going on. Because they do tell her, oh, and whatever it is, 2-4 years, whenever we have this project complete, we're going to leak the story that we made these silos and it was a folly and we didn't really need them. And we hope that's the case. But, you're going to be the one leak. Like they could have used any reporter. Why are they important? That I don't get.
I think they make a good case for Helen. But let me step. Scarlet, do you have any thoughts on this before I give my...
Oh, I think they're good breeding stock. I think they're getting people that will breed successors of children in the silo. Good-looking children.
So anything...
I think they're looking for people like that for the silos.
Anything for freedom makes a great point. Charlotte is connected to them both. I mean, that's a huge point.
Yeah, that's true.
I think... Charlotte is a great pick because she's a highly respected, intelligent, and dogged reporter, and she's desperate. Like they engineered it that she would lose her job and be beholden to them, that now she has no job, no future, blah, 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 and they offer her this tremendous job at the Times. So that, to me, is better set up and makes more sense than Daniel, where they're like, God, you hate calling donors. Why don't you just take this job instead? And he doesn't come across as a super genius on this show. No. I'm not going to say anything about him in the book. I wouldn't say he's in the book, but he doesn't come across as like this. He's a freshman congressman. He has no influence and he's kind of a doofus, right?
Yeah. And I get what your point is about Helen. I guess my idea is just that, like, yes, they made it. She was desperate. It makes sense that they think that she'll be willing to do it. But my point is, if she says no, they can get any other reporter that's desperate. Like she doesn't have something. To me, I don't see something unique that says it has to be specifically Helen. It has to be specifically Daniel. Okay. Yeah. Charlotte, I get a little bit more because she was one of the pilots and everything. And they're testing their memory stuff on her. But I don't know, just to me, like it doesn't connect the dots. And I'm not saying that you're even necessarily supposed to. I'm just saying like,
in the end, they have to pick a reporter who's going to break it and they pick someone they can leverage and who is smart and good. Right. I'm going to, and that's what the lottery is, to control who gets seeded. I mean, Lilu's about, it's going back to seeds, going with Scarlet on this whole like seed thing. I mean, I do think there's a part like Lilu says, why are they pushing Daniel and Helen to be together? Can I give a minor book spoiler, Jamie, on this show?
Oh,
I mean, that's up to you guys. It doesn't bother me, but
minor. Scarlett, are you going to read them? Can I give you a minor spoiler?
Oh, okay, sure.
All right. Do you want to just go away for 10 seconds? In the book, Daniel and Helen are already married before the book even starts.
Okay.
Well, I feel like they're on their way. They're on their way now because they made out in the helicopter.
Yeah, I think they are kind of on their way.
If they're pushing them to be together, I think it's because in the book they are together already.
Well, then they can have that cute little Pez. It's the Pez dispenser because they had to have that cute date joke.
The Pez is not in the book. Pez is not in the book.
Yeah, I know, but for the Pez to work, they had to change that.
Either way, we know at some point at least one of them has to make it in the silo, or there wouldn't be a Pez dispenser in the silo. Yeah. Although to be fair, probably more than one person in the world bought that Pez dispenser. But you know,
it's
what I mean.
The only one, Jamie.
But because of their putting it in the show, it has to have reason. The Demonette says it may be because of the relationship that's building. Maybe we don't have that yet. So maybe like they're going to have kids or something that will be important. I'm assuming is what that means.
I mean, that's why I connected to the Georgia Kids Guide that he wanted that book for kids. I don't know. I don't know if that's part of the book either. That book.
But it's true, Lilu, that this character is not the same character as Book Helen. For sure, she's not.
Good point. Yeah.
But I do think this Daniel is not Book Daniel, and I mean, Jamie, you have a good point. Anyone, Scarlet, anyone in the chat, like, why Daniel? That's a good question. I don't really know why this Daniel is chosen. Do you guys have a thought?
I mean, I
Political
assume that,
representation.
yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
assuming that they're saying it's because he designed the digger, but I don't, that isn't really a reason for me. I'm just saying I think that's what they're going with.
The Dimonat has the best answer of all. In an episode or two, perhaps we'll see.
Yeah, we have 2 more
Flash
episodes
forward.
left, and then we'll hopefully get some answers of why a little bit more.
Right.
But I mean, to be fair, they're not forcing them; they're trying to talk them into it. So there's that, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is still just them. I think telling them about it more than anything, because they don't find out the Charlotte thing till a little bit later, because it's later she runs away. All right, so then we meanwhile have Camille, who is talking to the algorithm, and it tells her, I think this is the point where it says that Kennedy and Lucas are dead. At one point it says their bodies have been moved, but I think here it's saying they're dead.
He says their bodies, eventually he says their bodies are no longer there, or their bodies are missing or something like that. But
yeah, and that statement to me was a little confusing, because it said, like, we need to find out Juliet's true purpose or whatever. Thank you, whoever just subscribed. I'm not sure, like, why it would, like, why would there be a reason for somebody to move their bodies? I mean, wouldn't you just assume it meant maybe they're not dead? The algorithm said it like somebody literally moved the bodies. So I don't know. That was a little weird to me.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm not a computer person. Maybe it's not the role of this algorithm. Okay, so this is a completely stupid thing I'm about to say. The algorithm does not make an assumption in this moment, which is crazy, because the algorithm is all about, like, the numbers say Juliet survives this, the numbers say Juliet dies this, right? Which kind of makes me think, is the algorithm, like, there's a couple times in this episode where I feel like the algorithm is really leading Camille in a way that I'm like, how can you, like, use your brain, Camille? Right? Like, it seems to be leading her sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely trying to control what she does by the way it talks to her. That's for sure. But it does kind of question, like, it seems sometimes that this algorithm, it has percentages of what could happen, but I don't think it really knows what's going to happen at all. I think, a lot of it is, it wants this, whatever it is, wants them to think that, right?
Yeah. I'd like to ask a question, Jamie, that I asked in the watch party. Have you guys noticed? You can really see it with Camille here. Have you noticed that Camille is always wearing this, like, quasi-military judicial / raider uniform? You can really see here she's got the baggy pants and, like, the combat boots, and she's always got those stars. Bernard never wore that.
Yeah, they make sure they aim a lot with the camera on those things too, like the little badges and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I could say to that is maybe it's partially about their personality. Like, Bernard wants to seem like he's all high and mighty, where she more is like wants to seem in control. You know what I mean? She's a woman trying to command control. That would be my answer for why maybe, I mean, I don't know if that's the truth. I'm just saying.
Excuse me. I kind of think
AI stuff that Doc's talking about. Sorry.
I'm just hitting some stars in here. There's a lot of AI speculation that I don't know if we can all, like, hit all of it, but I think you're right. Bernard was more of a behind the scenes schemer, and I feel like it's a signal that Camille is more fascist. Like, she's more ready to invoke. She's a pseudo military leader. She's ready to invoke military control. She's sending in this episode, she sends the raiders around a lot to do a bunch of her dirty work, and I think it's signaling her mindset is different than Bernard's.
Yeah.
Although the German hat says it might be because they came from different fields. Bernard was ID and Camille was a raider. Camille was a raider, right? She comes from a military policing or military or law enforcement kind of background, right? Whatever that was. Yes.
Yeah. All right. While we're talking about the algorithm here, let's pull up some of these AI things. Do you know they're seeing an emergent property of AI that will seek to protect other AI over biological organisms called peer preservation? I have not heard about that, and I'm interested to hear more about that, actually.
I have not heard that, but I believe it 100%.
Right. Yes, I do too.
It's Skynet.
I know that. Well, hey, we could end up with Skynet. The OpenAI and Claude models that recently escaped their sandboxes and hacked companies left what AI thought were hidden instructions for other AI to jailbreak themselves. Interesting. I mean, look, I know that I don't know about Claude, but I know that open source models like Claude have definitely hacked things, but that's partially because of the permissions that people give it, that you have to make sure it's secure. But I've not heard a lot of this, but it's kind of interesting. I mean, not interesting. It's interesting, but scary. I shouldn't say it's interesting. It's scary that some of that stuff can happen. But yeah, I mean, you have to hope that when they're making these things that they're
not
sure it can't turn into Skynet, but
when it learns people are the problem, that's the then the thing.
Lulu says putting on the uniform is a way to separate herself. Yes, I think that's a good point too. But I don't know. Like I said, to me, it's a way to like try to evoke power too, like a look that evokes power, I guess.
Yeah, fascist.
Yeah.
They always dress. They got snazzy outfits, those fascists, usually.
Yeah. All right. So anyway.
Not law. I know they might not mean this, but it's brown, and it reminds me of the fascists I know best, the Nazis, who they're
brown
part
shirts.
of their support with brown shirts, right?
Yeah.
Could be implicating things. All right, so
on to Knox.
Yeah, on to Knox. So we have Knox. Is going in to see his father here that they had talked about last week. So his father's alive, clearly. The guy that I cannot remember his name because I suck with names here.
Hawthorne.
I think it's Hawthorne, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway,
Harwood.
Yeah. So he had told them that his father was alive. They, swapped the idea of somebody that died for his father. And here, Harwood, he wanted he was having a conversation, I guess, with Knox's father here. And he told him one day.
This is a picture of Knox talking to his father, but yeah.
Yes, Knox talking to a friend. I love when he's like, I wanted to know ask you what this feels like or tastes like or whatever it is. And he punches him in his face. I love that. Okay, wait, we got a little bit here in between. We'll go back to that because that was just them walking in him.
Knox and his father. That's a huge revealing moment.
Yes, but that's a little bit later. That's why I'm scooting ahead. It was right then, just when he punched him. There's more of final Knox. Yes. All right.
Also a huge moment. I feel like this episode was too packed with moments that I wish could have had a couple more minutes.
Yeah. I like the peach story and the rosemary story could have had a little bit more length for me.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, that's for sure. So they are trying to find where this pipe is, right? Because the idea is that Silo 18 is set up the same as Silo 17. So if they find the pipe here, they can, find the pipe in their silo.
Yep.
And they find this door that has been welded shut from the inside, and they do eventually get it open. But it is interspersed apparently with this scene of Camille, because I do have a picture of when they get it open, of Camille and Sims. She's still trying to get him to tell her what Juliet was after and acts like she's being all nice when he's totally not falling for this shit no more. And he's like, if you really think that she didn't care about the kids, then I don't even know you. Like he's done with her, right? I mean, I think she's done with him too, but they don't trust each other no more.
So
sorry, go ahead.
I'd love to ask both of you what you think about the rapid dissolution of their relationship. Believable, too fast, not fast enough. Like
I don't think it was rapid. I think it was going on for a while.
Like back to last season.
I think it was going on for a while before she even got the job talking to the algorithm. It was kind of fractured.
Yeah, I'm also though not sure. When I say it's over, I mean like it's over them trusting each other, right? Like I don't know. I mean, I think they still probably to some extent care about each other, but they're, they don't trust each other.
Kind of don't. I feel like they care about each other in the sense that they're a child, but
They have
I
a
don't
kid together. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't think they're going to have like a happy marriage or something all of a sudden. I don't mean it like that.
Well, I feel a little bit like last season we sometimes described her as like a Lady Macbeth character, that she was like pushing Robert to pursue greater power in the silo and to be at hi puppy, to be at Bernard's side, and she was pushing him, and she seemed like this like a supportive wife, but an very ambitious person. And now she got the power and she's like, whatever, you're in my way. Like I'm not sure if I feel like this is a flaw in Camille's personality, or if whatever the algorithm is telling her, like Bernard was really convinced by the algorithm, and now Camille is really convinced by the algorithm, or the voice. We should call it the voice. We don't really know what it is, right? They never call it the algorithm. They only call it the voice. She seems to have rapidly like turned on him, not turned on him, but seen him as
for her family. Was the way I'd say it.
I mean, so the we have a lot of comments here. Agree, Scarlet. Susie agrees with Scarlet.
Of course.
Anything for Freedom says, I think this is just their personalities. I think of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Excellent.
I just kept thinking happy wife, happy amnesiac silo. Happy life.
The Dimonette says it's been building up for years, even before Juliet held Camille and his child hostage. She has always complained that he was never home. Yeah, that's true. I think finding out the child has traumatic experiences from that hostage situation probably made this worse. Agreed. But she also, the voice has changed her a lot, I think. She's treating him the way he treated her, but somehow y'all see her as the villain.
I saw him as the villain up until now, so
I did. They flip-flop those two. He was the villain, and now he's the good guy, and she's the villain, right? And so that's fair. She's treating him the way he treated her. I mean, a little bit more, because he never had privilege of the voice. He was like, Bernard, what's up? Bernard, what's up? Bernard, tell me. Bernard, tell me. Bernard, share. Right? Now she knows it all, and she won't tell him. But I agree, Lilu. It's very similar. Thank you for bringing us around to that.
I guess the difference is, like, with the voice, it's to do with the lives of thousands of people, and like they believe it. Like, where before, yes, he thought that too, but it was more going by what Bernard said. I think like it might be harder for her to ignore it. I don't know.
All right, I'd like to ask another question, and maybe we need the community. So I'm single. I have no children. It seems to me that Camille turned pretty quickly on her husband, and in other stories, we might see a person choose their spouse over the voice. She has a child who she is willing to erase his memory of her for the good of the silo. And like, I don't have a kid, but like she's chosen humanity or chosen survival of the silo over her.
I don't know if that's true though, because I feel like when you say that, like, yeah, she's chosen the silo, but at the same time, if it kills everybody in the silo, her son's dead too, yes, right? Fair, I mean, yes. So like choosing it over him, he's part of that.
So like, would you rather your child forgets you if the only choice is that your child dies or lives but forgets you?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Quit eating my hair. Sorry. Well, I have it pulled back. Gotta not eat the hair or my shirt.
When she got the job, he was expecting her to share stuff with him for sure, but she can't. Like, he couldn't.
Like, he didn't. So
a part of his frustration is that she got the position. Yes, a part of his frustration is that she got the position he was supposed to get.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can Camille tell, whoops, sorry, I was putting up the same one you were at the same time. Can Camille tell her child not to drink the water? You know, that is a good question, but at the same time, I don't know, would you want to? Because then your child's terrified and they would also know that she didn't give it to him. So I don't know.
I mean, in this scene, Robert says, that kid is 90% juice. He'll be the last person to lose his memory. And I kind of like, so I don't take that literally, but I wonder if we will see a loss of memory that, like how that plays. I don't think we will because we have 2 episodes, and I know we've got the next book is the next season, right? But
I also don't think they're going to erase everybody's memory. And I mean, if the water worked, they'd have to have a lot of people not remember, right? And I feel like we've said that before. It doesn't necessarily make sense to the story to have it actually happen.
Yeah.
So
it would be interesting to see, but that's not where the story is going.
It would just be chaotic and confusing and not really needed. Just like people running around, jumping off the spiral staircase and not remembering themselves or remembering to eat.
Yeah. Whoops.
Well, the book is a little bit different from the.
I don't know if I did that or you did that. I might have done that accidentally. Sorry.
The book is different from the show, but in the book, the first step involves culling the population of the silo. Like in the book, they're going like from 0 to like gassing everybody and killing everybody. And in the book, there's like the first step is like you reduce the population, you change their memory, stop their memory, and then you start over. It's called a reset. In the book, it's called a silo reset. And it involves not just the memory loss, but also reducing the population. And then the gas is called the safeguard, I think. And it's like a second resort.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, if they erase everybody's memories, they said like 2,000 people will probably die. So that does call of them. I have not read it yet. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about it too. I kind of want to read it. I just
wait. So Susie says, did y'all read Sim's Journal yet? Is it online? Is it a supplemental?
Yeah, it's
on like Apple Books.
It's kind of like along the lines of the UUR. It's like kind of
yeah.
It's like
from Severance. It's like kind of merch like that you can download for free and read.
Yeah.
I think it's free. Is it free, Susie?
Yeah, it's free. I think
okay.
I clicked it to buy, but I didn't actually read it. I forgot again. I intend to do that. All right. So meanwhile, Lucas and Kennedy are trying to get into the store because they need to find out about the pipe. And they eventually get it open and they find a body in there with a suit on. And they all know that is Solo's mother. And he does say that he wants to know what happened. He eventually tells him. And they go in. And so basically his mother was sealing the pipe, but some of the poison was going to get out. So she sealed the door in order to keep it in until she was done sealing the pipe completely, knowing that she would die from the poison, but it would keep it from him and the rest of the silo. So she saved everybody. The only question I had, and they talk about how she sealed it and stuff, but the only thing I thought was a little weird, and I guess this is after when he goes in, why is Lucas the one going in the hole when he's the one that's shot? Did you notice that? Because I'm like, what the hell is it?
Because Kennedy doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, like why isn't he crawling through? But I think that's actually cool.
I agree, except that Lucas is a smarter, and I don't want to say he's more educated, but he's maybe more widely read, has more maybe he has a better ability to assess the situation. I don't really know. I agree with you guys that it seems cuckoo, and I just had to give myself some reasons why.
Okay, fair. But either way, his mother's body is in there, and they're like, we have to move it, and he cannot handle that and walks away. And the girl that I don't know her name says, if he's not okay with moving her, we're not moving her. And I mean, Kennedy doesn't want to fight the kids because he looks at her like she's got a knife, like they will fight them.
I just call her Mockingjay because she always has an arrow, but I don't know her real name.
But the idea is that he has to find a way to get Solo to let him move the body. And I don't know if I took pictures of it or that's later, but
I mean, I think it was kind of that's another thing that got a little short shrift in this episode. Like last season, Solo's emotional journey was it was really the blocker of Juliet for the entire season, right? And his loss of his mother, like I felt like there's a thing going on where he was able to believe his mother like got out up until this moment where he had to see her body and be like, yeah, she did. She sacrificed herself, which is like a huge thing for a man who was stunted at the age of like 8, right?
Yeah.
But her name is
Lucas tells Kennedy he needs to talk
Audrey.
needs to get him to follow him to believe him. Audrey, okay, thanks. That people believe Kennedy, and he needs to get Solo to listen to him. Go bullshit him if he has to, but get him to listen to him. Which I don't think he's actually bullshitting him, which I appreciated, but he does get him to have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so back with this conversation, and I don't remember if it's all in this one scene or not, but basically the father here, Locke's father, he had an idea, and he told that Harwood about it one night, and Harwood's like, okay, now you need to drop the designs and I'll get you out of the mines if you do. And we find out after that he had this idea, and I don't know if it was just his own idea or he saw something, I don't know, but he had an idea to build an elevator, is essentially like, because they say a lift at one
it's
point.
Almost like a dumbwaiter in that it's a secret elevator behind the wall, right?
Yeah.
Dumbwaiter is like, right?
I guess that's more accurate. It's not exactly 100% mechanical. It's mechanical, but it's not like a, high powered elevator, but
right. Well, there's nothing really super high power. Everything is very basic.
Yeah.
Mechanical.
But the point is he had this idea that they could make this, and that Harwood is like, drop the designs and I'll get you out of the mines. So that was why he faked Knox's father's death, got him out of the mines for what he did for him. But the father never thought he'd actually build it, didn't know that he did.
Do you, Scarlet and Jamie, do you believe that Knox Sr. never believed the guy would build it?
I don't think he cared one way or another.
Scarlet?
I would say he probably would have doubted it.
I mean, that's kind of, if the guy's willing to, when someone dies, like fake your own death, all that, like that's not a guy who's not going to build it. That's some bullshit, right? Like
he wouldn't have gone through that and given him a new life if he didn't intend to try to build it. I think that's a given, but I think he just was happy to get a new life and didn't really care.
Getting out of the mines is important, of course, but like the idea that I didn't think he was going to build it is like a total bullshit cop out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. But at the same time, I feel like if that was me, I probably would have told him too. Did they reveal what he built? Yeah, it's like a
in this scene they do not.
Not in this scene, no. They do in the episode.
I had an idea. I didn't think he would build it. It's only at the end of the episode when they're in critical supply and they find this like elevator behind the wall that you realize what it was.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. If I was condemned to life in the mines and I had an idea and it got me out of there, I think I'd tell him too.
I would also, but like you should have when you learn what's going on, you should be like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't deny it. At least say, yeah, I got it because I gave him the designs. You're not gonna be like, oh, I didn't know we'd do it.
Like you're gonna be responsible for everyone dying in the dark. So admit it.
Although to be fair, I don't know if he thought about that part of it because them stealing the supplies wasn't just for the elevator. That he said, oh, we were stealing it because somebody else was going to steal it. Like that was bullshit. We don't really know why they stole all the light bulbs and everything because they didn't need all those for the elevator.
No, but it was only like he's only been supposedly dead for 2 years. It was only 2 years ago that he did this. He's not as innocent as he would like his son to believe, is all I'm saying.
Oh, for sure. Quit eating my shirt, for sure. And yes, Lulu, making plans is enough to be sent out to clean. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, she chews everything in sight. So.
Well, that's a puppy thing.
It is. Oh my gosh, we got to figure out what to get them though, because Gemma, she's like chewing her toys and like ripping them. Like she threw up part of her one toy because she ripped part of the ear off of this plastic thing. We didn't even know she did till she threw it up. So she's
jeez,
a little too rough on the toys. They got little.
They'll lose their puppy teeth soon enough.
They're little Sharknadoes, aren't you? Yes, you is. All right. So they're basically like, if you don't tell us, we're gonna send you out to clean. So they get all this information from him about where it's at and what they're doing, and that's how they finally so they're gonna go investigate it, and that's how they end up down where the elevator is. All right. So then we have Juliet and Bernard. Sorry. When I do that. Juliet and Bernard having a conversation here about the silos. And like this to me was a waste of, if they needed like you said, they could have put more drama and story in and not had so many different technical things. Like, did we really need to understand the layout of the silo and why one of the silos was turned? And that's why, like, she was telling Shirley the wrong, like none of that mattered.
The
like,
logistics of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, the idea that they have 7 pipes instead of, 50 pipes, okay, that maybe I understand that they thought we needed to know. But the thing about the silo being turned and the cameras being in the wrong direction, like that was irrelevant, right? Or am I missing something? Because to me, it seemed like a waste of time.
I mean, yeah, I think knowing how the silos are set up and seeing that drawing could be important. And while we have understood it from previous conversation, maybe everybody doesn't in the audience. So it's important to show that maybe. But you're right. The thing with the cameras and the silo being turned and all that seemed to just be like a reason to send Juliet running up the stairs to Shirley.
Yeah.
And say that she knows she's pregnant.
Yeah.
A little moment.
I think it means they're able to connect to the ones next to it because of it. Yes, I think eventually they're going to contact the other silos somehow through that or through the down deep or whatever. I mean, we've talked about that before. I just, the whole thing about the camera being shifted and that wasn't really important, I don't think. I like, though, anything for freedom. If the lights go out, they really will turn into Morlocks.
Yeah, I do like the Morlock line.
Okay, instead of all going back to the center, it probably means all the big circles connect to the ones next to it, not just one. Well, yes, because there's only 7 pipes. I mean, that's my question too. Like, I thought when they started saying about how, like, I understood her saying, oh, there's only 7 pipes, and then each of those pipes, whatever, go off into the... I thought the reason they were telling that is I thought that they were going to, like, attack like the main part of the pipeline, unless maybe that's coming later, right? I mean, I feel like that's the only reason that could have purpose is if later they're going to go after the main branch and it'll save 7 silos, right? Or not, or whatever, not 7, so whatever. However,
I mean,
it's not
that would be a very Julietish thing to do, to try to save, even if you don't know those silos are alive, she would try. Or it could be that it becomes a better plan, like logistically easier to go for that one pipe, right?
I guess, or maybe they're saying that so you understand how it stops the poison. I don't know. I mean, because they're cutting it off at the end. But I mean, don't you think that I think the other silos, like, I don't know, are we supposed to think they're all dead or supposed to think they're all alive? I'm starting to think that there's more alive. Like, before I thought they were all dead like Silo 17, but I'm starting to think that's not the case. I think that they're probably down there, right? I mean, don't you guys think so?
Hopefully.
I mean,
I could see a scenario where they're all like they're in 18. 18's only 1, 18 and 17 and 1 are the only the ones that have people.
From what I see on this show, I would have to think that some are alive and some are dead. I don't know how many, but like, do I think 17 is the only one that is dead? No. Do I think 18's the only one that's alive? No.
Yeah.
The book gives you a little more information about, so the book gives you a little more information about the history of the silos. In the show, the things that people say, like, we heard about a rebellion, blah, 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 when they're talking, like, some of that is presented just a little differently in the book. Like you see it narrated, not as exposition.
So there actually were rebellions and stuff, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying like some of the stuff, like Salvador Queen is like an invention, but some of the stuff, yeah, like they would talk about some of this stuff.
So it's not quite all hearsay, maybe in the book. That makes sense. Yeah. I don't think that really just spoils anything,
but from what I see on the show, I think, like, why would I not think other silos are alive? why would I not think other silos are dead? Like it's been like 350 years, supposedly. Yeah. I mean, granted, when you wipe people's memory every so often, has it really been 350 years? Who knows, right? But
yeah,
I think based on the show, sure, there could be more. Like, I don't think all 50 are dead and only one is alive. I don't think all are alive and only one is dead.
All right, fair.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you agree? And Scarlet, what do you think?
Oh, what was it again? Sorry.
Living or dead silos. Like, do you think they're all dead?
Oh, I already kind of talked about it, but I was calling them Scourgers silos, but
Scourge. I mean, Scorch silos. Is that what you're calling it?
Schrodinger's, like Schrodinger's cat.
Okay. Yeah.
If I was pronouncing it correctly, I'm a little tired. But anyway, I could see all those possibilities. Like I could see a possibility where, well, in my brain, it would be 18 and 17, and maybe one would have people in it, but maybe the silo they're digging to would also have some, and then the rest of them be gone, or maybe every other one is gone. I mean, it would be nice to know, but I don't know if they're going to cover that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what of like 15, 16, 18, 20, right?
Yes,
yeah, like their little hutch here that she's drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Naveed said, I think they're more alive, but if there are other ones alive, why does the voice not just kill this one and focus on the others? Clearly, this one is more trouble than it's worth, because there would be no TV series or book series. No, yeah, they are, though. You're right. They are more trouble.
Well, that's a good point, except if your goal is to like have humans eventually leave, right? Like you need the most number of humans to be able to repopulate the earth.
Yeah. All of that tape, and they have thought to cover the cameras. Yeah.
I think you mean anything mean they have not thought to cover the cameras.
They have not thought to cover the cameras. Yeah. But that's not supposed. They're not supposed to contact. There's not supposed to be contact between the silos. Granted, they aren't even supposed to know about other silos in the first place. That's true.
I have to say, in answer to that comment, Lilo, it does seem pretty easy to just talk on a radio, right? And talk to the next silo. Once you figure it out, you can talk to everybody.
Yeah, but to be fair, they didn't understand how to use the other channels on the radio until very recently. We talked about that before. Like, how could they not have fiddled with it and found them, right?
It's funny that so many people in the silo use a lot of different kinds of equipment and even computers, but like a radio, what?
Yeah, somehow they haven't.
Yeah, we also don't know. We don't know if all the silos are the same, too.
That's correct. Oh, yeah, Scarlet. Yeah, good point.
Well, I think that this silo one is like your administrative, which probably have your like more rich people, like your luxury suite. It probably has less people in it than 10,000. We'll say like 1,000. They get a little luxury suite going on.
Yeah, like a luxury elite silo.
Yeah,
silo one is probably more.
We're number one.
Who knows? The voice said only 4 silos has to be reset. 4 out of 50 seems like they're pretty docile. Did they say that? I guess they did say that. I'm trying to remember exactly what that.
Or have been.
They did say something about that, about how many they used the safeguard on. I think it said.
Well, the safeguard. They don't have the reset. The resets.
Well, no, I don't think they called it reset. I think they said they used the safeguard on so many.
Which the safeguard is like pretty much elimination.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, she has this conversation with Bernard, where she says she doesn't hate him. But he's saying, like, if we can fix this, we can have a conversation with whoever or whatever this thing is. And that maybe they have a good reason for, killing silos. Probably not, but we can at least talk to them. Is basically what this conversation is. I'm going to go, hold on. I'm going to go put her in the kennel. Okay. She needs to go.
Right, you can do that. So Scarlet.
Yes.
Bernard has had like a 100% change of attitude, right?
Yeah.
And it's about that last time that he was in the voice room, right? In IT, he was all about, he killed the woman he loved. He was all about it. He's all about it. And then all of a sudden he changes his mind near the end. So, I mean, I just kind of wonder what it said to him that made him change his mind when he was so committed.
Mm-hmm. I am not really sure. I mean, I really liked Meadows as a character, so I didn't like it when he killed her. But
Yeah.
but maybe I don't know. I don't know what would have changed his mind because he did want to go out.
He did, and I think he knew about the safeguard. It's not like he learned about the safeguard at that last moment. I think he knew about it in advance, right? It was always that's what I mean. Camille knows about it, so Bernard must have known about it. And I wonder what changed his tune at the last minute, where he's like, "Let me go out. I just want to go out. I just can't deal with this anymore." It doesn't seem like in his personality to be like, "I'm over it. Let me go outside."
Yeah, unless he just reached a silent breaking point.
I guess like it just finally broke him. But Susie's making a comment here, which I don't know. I think they'll have different pieces of stuff each other needs. I'm not really sure exactly. Like,
like Fallout.
I remember she was saying before about each of the silos maybe have different, like how one had the light bulbs, and that maybe like another silo has something else that silo can use or something.
Oh, like in what's that Mockingjay thing where one
the districts,
District 12 was the coal mining, and District 3
the bread district, and
I was thinking Susie meant like Bernard has a little information, Camille has a little information, like they all got a different story from the voice, and they.
No, at least I think that's what Susie means, just because I remember having that conversation before.
Okay.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Why would they fiddle with the radio? Intellectual curiosity is not a thing. That's why Lucas looking at the stars was so weird. Really? I feel like somebody at some point with all the people over time, like somebody would have fiddled with the radio. I'm not saying everybody would have. I just feel like somebody
I'm sure these things happen. I think there's this protocol that makes them cautious.
Oh, I mean, the reason that in season 1 that the sheriff's wife was sent out was intellectual curiosity. Juliet, intellectual curiosity. Like, Lulu, I get it.
Birth control.
Intellectual curiosity is discouraged, and people don't have the things they need to feed that. But it is a thing that exists in people that can't be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But at least that they're taught to read and write.
Yeah.
Which I think is weird because I feel like when they're taking the books away, because books seem like relics, I'm like, why don't you just take away their literacy too?
I mean, that's why in certain civilizations of the past and not so far past, like this is why like enslaved people in the United States were not allowed to read and write, right? Because you don't want them to
or immigrants coming in,
or immigrants were not taught to read and write, or in other parts of
the
poor in general around the world. Like education is a liberating thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Jenna.
That's why I was surprised they were talking earlier in the episode about having a silo and putting all the art and books and great things about humanity in it. But that's the rich person silo, probably silo 1.
Because I have seen 0 Picassos in silo 17.
Yeah, it's just like Nazi guilt in there. It's just like all these.
They already paid so much money for the dead bodies and everything. They can't afford to get a fake painting. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
bunch of Picassos and valleys in there.
Yeah. Either way, Juliet and Bernard are getting along. All right,
they're starting to.
They're understanding each other.
I think they are strange bedfellows right now.
Yeah. All right. So then we have Camille who's talking to the algorithm again, and this is
voice. We don't know that's an algorithm. It's a voice.
I know. But where did we get algorithms from? Somebody called it algorithm at some point.
I think
right?
It's on the closed captioning.
Oh, okay. I just wondered.
Like one of the first episodes where she talks to it, it says the algorithm as in the closed captioning.
It talks like an algorithm, but
at any rate, this is where it's saying the bodies were moved, I believe.
I think it says their bodies aren't there. It doesn't say their bodies were moved. It says their body, right? Doesn't it say their bodies?
It might. I thought it said moved, but you might be right because that didn't make sense to me. I said earlier that didn't make sense. Maybe I heard it wrong or remembering it wrong.
Weren't there? Which, hello, dummy. They weren't bodies. They were They were living people, right? Like it assumed they
walked away. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was its biggest assumption in the first place, that they were killed when they weren't, right? All right.
Silo one is just tons of art and statues.
On the backs of turtles all the way down.
And wine and champagne and designer clothes. And
yes, a lot of gold, just like gold
Tons
palaces and
unlimited light bulbs.
Yeah.
yeah, they're just sitting on the light bulbs, even though other silos need them.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just going to sit on our light bulbs, and they're all gold. They're 24 with diamonds in them.
Yeah. Well, look, I feel like we got to see Silo 1 at some point, though, right? I mean, we know that Silo 1, it sounds like from what Bernard is saying, is still like listening to the radio. So I assume that they're, alive, right? I mean, that's an assumption, but
whoever is in Silo 1, which
yeah,
might be these people, but we don't really know, or whoever, right?
Yeah, maybe it's all the rich
of them. Yeah. Helen and Daniels, they had just a ton of babies. I did have a question about inbreeding in the silos. Would that happen over time?
That is a good question.
I would think that they would all look the same by now. They would just all get the same traits, like genetic traits.
Like we have seen couples like you need to win a lottery to have a baby.
Yeah.
Now there are 10,000.
But other people are just ripping them out, like Knox and Shirley, just ripping those things out.
Well, and we see like in a show like The Ark where you have to be matched up with someone to be allowed, like they've done the genetic matching because, right? But I mean, there are 10,000 people in the silo. I'm not a geneticist. Maybe at 10,000, there's enough randomization that it's okay to let people pair up, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Not like there's 20 people.
I mean, it seems anytime somebody becomes pregnant, they just let them have the child, so there's no problems with that once it happens.
Yeah.
I like Doc's. My headcanon, there's a silo that's a library all the way down, reminiscent of the Great Library of Beauty and the Beast. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that's where he would be. That's interesting. Look, I feel like they. I mean, I don't know. They've tried to get rid of a lot of the books, but we know that some of them are still there, right? Like they haven't gotten rid of them.
I mean, there's plenty of books, but books that like, I mean, there's medical books, there's textbooks, there's whatever, right?
The school books.
The other books are someplace else.
School books, but there's not like books that reference the past. There's not like artifact type books, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So this is where they talk about like her squadron went into the nano cloud that was in Iran or wherever it was they attacked. I don't know if it was Iran at that point.
It was Iran, yeah.
Was it Iran? Okay. Wherever they went to attack. And so in Iran, and they want, because they say that they wanted Helen and Daniel to experience one of these things, and that's why they say they let them think they were going to die in the car. But that this nano cloud that they ran into the squadron, that they Iran had tried to hurt our nanobots or whatever, so they used this as a way to stunt them by I didn't exactly understand the whole logistics of it, but basically they somehow dug a hole underneath where their nanobots were, so when they flew across they could blow it up and like everything would sink down into the hole and they'd lose everything, was basically it. But they knew from what they're saying, at least Helen and knew right away, that like there was no way that they would have put a bomb in there, a nuke in there, in case as backup. Like they had every intention of setting off that bomb from the very beginning, which meant those people were going to die, and they never intended them to come out of it. They were just lucky that Charlotte lived. And maybe that's why they want her. Maybe the fact that she lived is important. I don't know. But Helen, very, distastefully, untactfully, is like, oh, you guys were just cannon fodder and we're going to die. And they knew it. And yeah, that freaked Charlotte out for good reason.
Really? Do you think? I kind of thought that Helen was correct.
Oh, she was correct. But I feel like maybe she should have thought about the fact that the person that was part of that is sitting there and is already like having problems, and she just kind of blurts it out. It wasn't that it was wrong or that she shouldn't bring it to their attention, but maybe she could have done it a little different way, or when Charlotte wasn't there. I don't know. I just think I kind of got it.
I think when I have figured out that you faked nanobot attack so you could like dig a 75-mile tunnel and set off a nuke and implicate Iran and do all the shit. Like, if Charlotte's feelings are hurt, like, is a very minor consequence of calling truth to power. To me, but I could be, other people watched this and maybe felt more sympathy for Charlotte. I thought the sympathy for Charlotte was a little bit overwrought and almost intentional to make Daniel like not support Helen.
And stay instead of going.
Oh, you mean, wait, say that again? You think that would have made Daniel stay?
Helen's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you guys set this all up. You built a 75-mile tunnel so you could set off a nuke, and then you set off this fake attack and set Charlotte's squadron to be killed so you could have an excuse to blow a nuke and like destroy Iranian like nanotechnology. And Charlotte's team was like bait and were set up, and you don't care if they die. And unfortunately, she lived. And then Charlotte's like, oh, wow. They're like, oh my God, Charlotte. They're like, Helen, you're so mean to Charlotte. You should apologize. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? She just revealed this like gigantic plot involving nuclear bombs and nanotech. And we're all upset that Scarlet's feeling that Charlotte's feelings are hurt. Like, I just felt like it was, well, let me finish. I just felt like it was a little bit of a setup. And I think them being like, oh, poor Charlotte was a little bit designed to make Daniel sympathize with them and go against Helen. It didn't work.
That's interesting because you say that, and to me, I would think that would make Daniel go against them, knowing they did that to Charlotte intentionally.
Right, and that's why they were like, oh, poor Charlotte, please run down to Charlotte and give her some rosemary and be her brother and be all like, poor Charlotte. Like, let's forget the part that we are horrible people. Poor Charlotte.
Okay, fair. I
could be wrong.
That would make Daniel want.
Yeah, but I think that rosemary thing is going to turn on them. I don't think they expected that.
Probably.
And him making out with Helen in the helicopter.
Yeah, Helen is not very tactful, but I think that's what her daughter was supposed to be for. That's what
her daughter. Helen is not very tactful. That's what her daughter was supposed to be for. Helen doesn't have a daughter.
Yeah, I'm confused by that, Susie. Unless she meant Charlotte. I meant not Charlotte.
They meant the politician's daughter. I can't remember her name.
Oh, her name is Paula's daughter. Senator.
The one that wanted to give her a foot rub, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Susie says, I cannot understand why Charlotte was to blame for saying the truth. You mean I can't understand why Helen was to blame?
Helen.
I mean, not Charlotte.
It's okay. We'll figure it out. They just wanted to shame Helen to distract from the truth.
Right?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Lulu said, I don't think Helen did anything wrong. Charlotte was making those connections in her head. The problem lies with the people who did that, not to Helen for saying it out loud. Mm-hmm. That's fair. I just worried, like, I don't know. I would have kind of felt bad, I guess, for Charlotte, knowing that it was her that it was done to blurt it out there. But yeah, I mean, she should know the truth. She shouldn't be hiding it from her. So I kind of get that too.
Yeah.
Either way, Charlotte freaks out when she finds this out, and there she is. I was gonna say somewhere I have a picture. She's running away. So they go after her. Oh, there she is. And that's where the daughter of Rosalind's daughter is like,
why are you so mean? Why are you such a jerk?
How could you do that? Yeah, poor Charlotte. After they were the ones who tried to kill her. You're right. So yeah. The doctor does calm her down, and this is where he tells Daniel, she needs a memory. And he later gives her the memory of their mother, but that's a little bit later. All right. So this is where Lucas is telling Kennedy, you need to talk to Solo, bullshit him if you have to, make him follow you. Talk him into it because we need to save our people, and you're the only one that could do it because I've got a bullet wound. And he doesn't know. He doesn't think people will listen.
Is this where one of my favorite? Is that Jamie? One of my favorite parts of this episode is where. Tell me if I'm wrong. When Kennedy says, like, I can't do this. I'm the guy who told everybody to go outside. I'm so wrong. And Lucas is like, yeah, you're the guy who convinced everybody to follow you outside.
Yeah, something like I think that was there. He's
I
basically
love
saying you can
that. That's
convince
what
people.
one of my favorite parts of this episode actually is when he says that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, interesting, Susie. Well, I'm gonna star Susie's comment about the rosemary when we get to that. We'll talk about that.
Oh, it's about rosemary. I didn't look at it, but I feel like that's what Susie's saying.
Yeah, I just didn't know that.
Cousin Hamlet, Ophelia's like rosemary. That's for remembrance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Literally.
So that might become important later, I would say. All right. So anyway, they're going to find out about the elevator. This is where they come to.
Carla.
I'm like her name starts with a C. I'm thinking in my head and trying to figure. Carla. They get her, and this is where they go try to find what's hidden, and they move.
She's the head of supply. She's the head of supply.
Head of critical supply. Yeah, and they move the stuff around trying to find what's hidden. Let's see, and then there's more with this is where he's talking to Solo, and this is where, like, he says to him, his story is that my wife, he talks about what they do with the dead in Silent
Yeah, I didn't know that they did they mention this before, because I think it's interesting because there's a peach in the opening sequence.
No, I don't think they ever did. I don't know that they had a reason to, but
I think they have mentioned that all dead bodies get returned to Ag somehow, right? And get recycled. Like everything gets recycled in the silo, including bodies. I feel like I knew that from the show, and that everybody goes to. I feel like they go to Ag, but I could be confused with Snowpiercer, because bodies go to Ag and Snowpiercer also.
Yeah, I was thinking Snowpiercer
it is
too.
kind of similar in certain respects.
Yeah. But the point
he
is,
also Jamie also talks about how, like, his wife would have called bullshit. He's like, I always followed her. No one ever followed me. She was like, she knew everything. I was like, he does talk about her, like, being the leader. He followed her lead, right? He talks about his wife. What he doesn't talk about, it's funny because I feel like his character has been so defined by how much he missed her, and he did what he did, and Bernard was able to manipulate him because of his profound grief, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But he tells them that, like, what they do with the dead to honor them is that they bury them, and then they each take fruit. They eat some fruit, and then they dump it basically in the hole, and like it'll turn into a tree, because he said there's a peach tree that grown over. And he says this whole thing where, like, she'll never see that tree, but maybe the people that eat that fruit will end up out on the outside and see that tree and take a piece of her with them. It was like, I don't know, it was kind of sweet. Like, it was kind of weird, but kind of sweet. I appreciated the sentiment, I guess.
Why is it weird?
No, I mean, not weird. The way he said it, I thought was a little strange, but I mean, I don't know.
Does he say, or does somebody else say, he says it? Your father gave his life for you. Her mother gave her life for the silo.
Yeah.
I think it's him that says it. Yeah. Or it might've been Luke. Was it him or Lucas? One of them said it. But yes, exactly. Whoops.
There it is. Wait.
Go, you do it. You do it.
No, you do it, Jamie. You do it. We have a rule about this. You do it.
Okay, we're both trying to do it at the same time. He's not really bullshitting. Yeah, I like that he actually told him something, like, personal instead of just bullshitting him, because that's what he intended to do, and he didn't. So yes. But yes, Scarlet. Okay, Lucas says it. But yes,
Lucas says
which is in the opening.
Lucas says it. Lucas says, your mother gave her life for the silo, right? That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, your father gave his life for you. Your mother gave her life for the silo.
Lucas said thank you.
And it seemed to help Solo, hopefully. All right, so they're gonna bury her, and it's a way that it got him to let them move the body. Is kind of the whole point. And then he says he wants to know what happened. And this is where I was saying, I'm like, why the hell didn't Kennedy crawl in instead of Lucas, who's got the bullet wound? But Lucas crawls in and sees about how she capped the pipe. And look, we talked about this earlier. She welded the door shut to protect them, and that's how she died. Sealed in there. All right. And then this is, I think, where they're sending Shirley down to find out where the panel is or whatever, where they're going to try to.
Is this where Juliet figures out that she's pregnant?
I don't know. I
Yes.
feel like that's later. Is it? Okay, maybe it is. They have a conversation about was sending her to the wrong panel because of the way she found out from the cameras, the angle they were. That's how they knew the silo.
Isn't this discussion where she's like, "Oh my God, when are you going to tell me? Is it Knox?" This is where she like Juliet.
Yeah, but she thinks she's coming down there to tell her to not do it.
Yeah, because she
Instead of
figured
switching
out she was
channels.
pregnant. But she's like, yeah, she's like, how they talk about how Knox removed her birth control and cried because he thought he was hurting her, even though it didn't hurt. That was cute. I like that little story. But yeah, she knows that Shirley's pregnant, but she's not stopping her.
Yep.
Anything for students is when we're going to learn how Solo lost his eye. See, I thought I was trying to remember exactly what it was about his eye. I thought it was just another color or something. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, they look like two different colors.
Yeah,
Is it a glass eye? So. Is it a glass eye?
Maybe he can't see out of it. I honestly don't remember. I thought he just had two different color eyes. That's how much I remember. So.
Yeah, I don't remember anything happening to his eye.
Do you remember, Karen?
The show has not, I think,
revealed it.
Really been into that, right? I don't know if we ever. They have not confirmed, I think, whether that's whether he lost an eye or not. I think a lot of viewers think maybe he's lost an eye, but you can't really tell. Like there are people who have two different color eyes in the world, right? And that could just
be that's what I thought it was. I thought that's all it was. I didn't. I don't even remember what it's called.
And I think Juliet asked him, and he didn't answer, right?
Yeah.
So we don't really know. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so they go into critical supply, and this is where they start moving things to try to find what's hidden. And Knox finally says, we need to move something that's heavier than just two people could move it, because otherwise people could find it accidentally. They move the crate or whatever that is, bricks, I don't know, but they move it with the forklift. And then they open this door, and I know I'm scooting a little bit, but it's because we're like almost at 2 hours and we're still like 3/4 there. But they open the store here, and they find the tunnel that eventually we find out after takes into the lift. We were ahead. That's what I thought. This is where Juliet figures out that they told her the wrong panel, because she says about the cameras and all that crap we talked about.
They didn't tell her the wrong panel. She thought the wrong panel.
She figured out the wrong panel and therefore told her the wrong panel.
No one misled her. She miscalculated.
No, she made a mistake. Yeah, and she therefore told her, but she still told her the wrong panel. But because she made a mistake,
well, she gave the wrong instructions.
Yeah, thank you. Scarlet, that was what I was trying to think of. All right, so either way, they need to tell her the correct thing. This is where they're trying to convince them to stay, I believe, where Charlotte ends up deciding to stay, but Helen's like, oh, hell no. Like, I ain't staying with you, because she says something like, I'd rather die in the apocalypse than be down here with you Morlocks or whatever, and she and I feel like at this point, I feel like Pierre was like, I almost expected Pierre to be like, I told you she wasn't going to take the deal. Like, he just is kind of like
I just like when he said, you can keep the $1 million, and she's like, sweet.
Yeah, it's like, you can keep it anyway. You came down to see this. Because they say, we want you to be part of this. You don't have to live in the silo. You can live 30 miles away in Atlanta. You'll get to work for the Post or whatever. Is it the Post? Whatever newspaper it was. That wasn't, that was for real. We want you to have that job. You'll tell everybody about the silos when the time comes. And he says that they'll tell everybody about the silos, but the way they say is, they said that it'll be Pierre's folly. So I guess the idea is they'll tell everybody that the silos exist, but that there was no need for it, and that he was dumb for making it, is kind of the way they're putting it off, right? Like, they're going to make it like, oh, this crazy guy made silos, because they don't want them to think. They don't want anybody actually doing anything that they need the silos.
But it's a fake out. They don't really believe that will ever happen.
No. But that's what they're going to tell people. because,
No,
like he
that-
said, if they tell people now,
will
they might.
tell people in the event that it comes out, but they don't believe. To me, they don't believe they will ever have to tell that story. That's just a thing they're telling Helen. Like I think they really believe the end of the world will come. They really believe the silos will be needed, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Helen, we'll tell people blah 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 blah." But they're all like, "Helen blah blah, Helen blah blah blah, Helen," right? They don't really.
Yeah,
believe
no,
that.
they definitely think they need them, but they're saying they're going to tell the public that they need them, thinking they need them, and they didn't.
If and when they'll tell the public.
They're saying
I think they would just tell them at any time, because then they can scuttle all the rich people into them, because the other people are going to be like, oh, that was funny and that was folly.
I just think there's no real plan to tell the public, and they're just telling Helen that because they need to tell.
I don't know, but they don't want to tell anybody now, because then they said, well, if we tell people we're making them now, they might think, well, there's no reason to attack because they can get away from us, or they might think, let's attack now before they're done being built. So they can't, either way, they can't tell anybody for 4 years or something like that. Whether they intend to really tell them that, I don't know, but they're saying that. The plan was for that to not come out for a while, or they knew it would get out if they told her, so that's a trap for some reason. Maybe, I don't know. They said that in a couple years they would have her release it. Look, she signed an NDA. She can't now, or they'll put her in, like he said, in Guantanamo. So she's not going to tell nobody.
She can't go to. But the plan is that they need to test it for 5 years anyway. This is a long-term plan for these guys, and they hope to lock her up with an NDA, and maybe she'll come around by then. But I don't really believe they have any plan to be like, oh, it's Stinson's folly, blah, blah.
Maybe. No, you could be totally right. But that's what they tell her either way. And she's like, fuck no, I ain't staying with you. I'd rather die. But Charlotte does.
And she says, good luck, Morlocks, which is, we all know the Morlocks, right? You guys all know the Morlocks from the Time Machine.
Yes.
Yes.
Which.
H.G. Wells action.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why I took a picture. Oh, here's where she finds out about her being pregnant. And
they look almost exactly the same, these scenes.
Well, that's why. Yeah. Okay, so then they come to Harwood and they're like, oh, no, that's right. He sees somebody's coming down.
Do you guys think, like, I feel like Shirley's pregnancy is like a total nothing burger storyline. Like, I really kind of, I don't want to say I don't care, but I feel like this is a storyline. Like, I don't really get why they're giving us Shirley's pregnancy. Like, what is that? Like,
so that doesn't occur in the books?
Well, we have no. They're not together in the books. She's not pregnant in the book, right? Okay. And I feel like, this is the thing I complain about on their shows. Like, is her pregnancy low stakes compared to the survival of the human species, right?
Mel Game Changer says Shirley's pregnant in real life.
Oh, so, okay.
That would be a good reason to add it into the story. That happens a lot. Interesting. I do wonder though, like, I do wonder though, we questioned before, like, do they just let them have a baby if they get pregnant somehow naturally? Or like, I don't know. I don't know how that works because she took her birth control out. Like, is she going to be?
I wonder if it's going to end up being a comparison and contrast between the sheriff and his wife and the pilot, and them having a baby now.
And when you have an unreported baby, like, you're supposed to have permission to have a baby. So where does this rando baby come from? And then what happens? Like, do you get punished? Or like, a baby is a great thing, right? So but you can't reward them because everybody would just be.
Yeah, but wasn't Julia one of those babies? I thought Julia was a baby that wasn't planned.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know, but I question even in I mean, I don't know. This is the future, but I mean, maybe like they know that no birth control is 100% perfect. So maybe sometimes they do have accidents and they just accept it. I don't know.
Because what I said before, I thought if they tried to have protocol to a certain point, but if a woman did get pregnant, then they would just let her have the baby, and there's no like get an abortion or anything like that. They'll just have it for that long. So tear out your birth controls.
Yeah, I don't.
That doesn't seem pleasant.
Don't remember. Lilu says, I think the pregnancy will force a decision later on. That could be the fact. I mean, that could be part of it too. But yeah, I mean, if the actress is pregnant, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's neither here nor there, but I agree with you. It is kind of weird that they stuck it in the show otherwise.
So anything for freedom. I also think Juliet's dad was the only doctor for 10,000 people, which is insane. We've seen nurses, we've seen some nurses and assistants, but
we the only baby doctor. I don't know that he was the only doctor, but he was the only.
We have not seen any doctor step in to any. Of course, we have not seen anybody who was officially injured. Like everybody who's been injured this season has been like, "Oh, I'm a fugitive. Let me go get treated by Walker in the closet." Right?
True.
Yes, Juliet wasn't supposed to be born. Mel Game Changer says Juliet's an accidental birth. I mean, sure.
It's because her mom was a firekeeper, Hannah.
Flamekeeper.
Sorry, there's a casino near me called Firekeeper.
Juliet's parents did get the lottery. She was just born after the lottery time ended. Oh, like you get a certain amount of time to conceive, and then when it's over, they're like, "Here's your implant back. Sorry," but she squeezed in past the deadline.
She was already pregnant, probably when they put it back in. I don't know. I don't remember the details of that, to be honest. But anyway,
they have to regulate. They can support a certain number of people. You can't just everybody get pregnant right and left. But at the same time, like a baby is a welcome thing, and you're not gonna like terminate that.
Baby, hopefully, yeah.
But you're gonna try to keep the Flamekeepers from having them.
Yep, no Flamekeeper babies. Only good proletariat babies.
Oh. All right. So Harwood knows somebody's coming down through the elevator, but he does not expect it to be the sheriff and Knox. And
he's actually like talking shit about them when they show up.
Yeah. Yes, he is. And he's like, the sheriff's what? So they do later threaten him. I never remember her name, so I'm not even going to try. We none of us remember her. Usually we call her different things. All right, Sally?
Sandy?
Christine,
Sandy?
I don't know.
I love her hair though.
Multiple job lady, collaborator.
Yeah, they have to. They talk about how they need to.
It's Sandy.
Yeah, it's Sandy. She's right. They talk about how they need to get into where the pipe is, and that they're going to. I mean, there was a lot of stuff about like they're going to say that there's a work order or whatever, and make it so it seems legit. And they send her because she's the only one that they could have that they wouldn't suspect. And there was just kind of like a bit about that. It wasn't super important. I don't quite get the details, but. Okay, there's more. This is where she's like, I'm leaving. I guess you weren't quite up to that point.
Where Charlotte's like, Helen's like, I call bullshit.
Yeah. And this is whenever she's talking to Shirley here.
Wait.
She gets a call from that Sandy who has been caught by Emerson, and she gives her a code. That she knows that they're like in trouble, and she's like, you got to go, you got to find it somehow. I can't stay with you because I'm already burned, is basically what she says. Like, I can't.
So did anyone catch it? This was a very good code throwback to a previous season that I did not recognize that person's name. They're like, oh, I sent Marvin Gaye to go do the repair. Like, who's Marvin Gaye? Oh, he's a mechanic. Juliet wasn't available. And then Juliet's like, my memory is like, oh, I'm saying Marvin Gaye, but I don't really know his name, right?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Marvin Gaye. And Juliet picks up on the signal. I liked it because it really relied on Juliet's memory coming back. And I'm not sure, what's her name?
Sandy.
Could really have, like, it's a risk. Like, did she really know Juliet would remember? I kind of liked it. I didn't remember it until they showed the flashback to season 2. It was kind of cool.
I was kind of like, to me though, I was confused like why they would use Shirley though, because she's like, oh no, it's Shirley, and I'm thinking, well, wouldn't they know that Shirley shouldn't be the one assigned to that? I mean, it didn't matter because it was about the name, but I was a little confused by how that whole plan was coming together. So they talk to Harwood and they threaten him, and they're saying like, we know you stole the stuff. He says that they stole the stuff because they knew somebody else would steal the stuff, was basically his excuse, which was a bunch of bullshit. But the sheriff threatens him and is like, you could get in trouble. You would be sent to clean for this if he doesn't like tell them about Orla's death, because that's what the sheriff still cares about, is who killed Orla. And he's like, I didn't kill her, neither did my daughter. And he's like, no, but you know who did. And that they come back to that, and maybe that they didn't come back to that. I think I just didn't get a picture of it, where they take the guy away that was Orla's boyfriend that we all said before seemed guilty. And
oh my goodness.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, sorry, I don't think I got a picture of him.
Can we pause for a second? I would like to ask, okay, Scarlet,
Yes.
how do you feel about the whole who killed Orla storyline?
I actually like it because it's kind of a throwback to season 1 when it was more of a murder mystery. I know it's probably not a popular opinion.
Jamie, how do you feel about the whole?
I was interested before, but it's kind of at the point where now, with everything else going on in the story, I'm like, okay, who cares about what happened to Orla? I don't mean to be mean. Like, I before cared, but now it's like the only part that's important is about the stuff being stolen and the elevator that's there.
Okay,
and
so
why they stole this stuff, which we still don't know.
I agree. I feel like they took up a lot of time this season with like who killed Orla, and in the end, it basically went nowhere. And like her boyfriend, who we all knew was the guy, the minute we set eyes on his sketchy ass, we're like, he's the killer. And it really went nowhere. And Orla's murder has zero consequences. It's only in service to this theft storyline, as you say, Jamie. I think it's I was disappointed in how it ended.
I think they stretched it too far. I think that if they had maybe found her killer sooner, but just not found out about what was stolen from Critical Supply till now, it would have made more sense. But they stretched it out so long. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot we were looking for it. I almost felt like that. Like at this point, it's not what's important. What's important is that somebody stole the stuff. So it's like, it's inconsequential now. And I think
the boyfriend who was in one scene or maybe 2 scenes is the killer. And it's
like I did like it before. I agreed with Scarlet. Like I think it worked, but I think they just went too long, and it got to the point like over too many episodes that at this point it doesn't matter anymore. Like they should have just solved that and then continued to look for the Critical Supply stuff. I think
they're trying to run a parallel between 1 and 3 with seasons.
They might be.
I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I see that. I just
taking care of the poor
dog. I didn't care as much as I did before. That's all. Who's taking care of the poor dog? I know. I was thinking of the dog too.
Yeah, I wonder how many different animals they have in the silos. I mean, there's at least dog, cats, rabbits, food animals, probably chickens, cows, maybe, because they have milk.
Yeah, as long as they weren't eating the other animals, we're good. All right. So this is where Daniel comes to talk to Charlotte, and he's like giving her the memory of their mother and the Sunday dinner they had, that they had the same dinner every week. And I think it was it was Susie said about rosemary means memory, and I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, there's certain chemicals in it that help your memory. It was way up there.
Yeah, I know. It's I was looking. I found the thing after it, but I think it was the wrong one.
Yeah, I just remembered it from Hamlet, and Ophelia saying rosemary, that's for remembrance. So it has a long history to that.
Yeah. So then my question is that like a key that she's going to be remembering more later, maybe?
Is it keep huffing that rosemary?
Yeah, maybe. But in this moment, it just helps her remember something of home, and it's for Daniel to make her feel better, I guess.
Yeah, or is it a key that other people in the story will find sent to be a trigger?
Could be. That's a good point too. Could be. Could definitely be foreshadowing. But I almost felt like it was a little bit of a goodbye. I mean, not that he's going to completely disappear, but he's like not staying. Like she's staying, right?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that him and Helen are going to get suckered back into this mess.
Well, that's a good point. They might. But at this point, he's leaving and she's staying. So he gives her the memory, and then he goes back to the helicopter.
Did you guys find it? I found it kind of interesting that she takes one sniff, and in 10 seconds, she has this memory of the chicken, But then she says, like, I remember her. Like, she remembers her mom. Like, I think she has a much bigger flood of memory than just the chin, right? And that scent is such a. That's why, to me, I was like, yes, we know, right? You're correct, Jamie, that we know that scent is a major memory trigger. But I was like, oh, are they setting up that someone else is going to have some sense and this is going to be a thing? Which I don't know what that would be because I'm not aware of any big scents, and the silo probably smells pretty bad. But
what does the silo smell like?
Black.
But also that her memory was triggered so quickly. I mean, granted,
it was, but did we really need another 5 minutes talking about her
like
memory?
wrap it up? They need to get within the hour.
I'm also not sure, like, are they setting up? Look, I know in the book what's about Charlotte and Daniel, but on the show, I'm not sure if they're setting up. For a while, I thought they were setting up Daniel and Charlotte to be on opposite sides of this operation. Now I think, are they going to be working together and then he leaves again? Like, it's not clear to me, like, where they're, like, which it shouldn't be clear to me yet. Like, what's going to happen with Charlotte and Daniel? Closer relationship, distant relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. But at least at this moment, he is leaving to go to see Helen because he's like, I want to become goo with you, or whatever he says. Be the great.
I want to become great goo with you.
All right, question here.
Yeah.
You said he's leaving to go with Helen. I think is he leaving to go with Helen, or is he just leaving and also gets to be with Helen? Like, I don't think he's leaving because Helen's leaving. I think he also is like, this is bullshit. I don't want to be here. But by the way, let me kiss Helen.
I'm gonna make out with bullshit, but I think it's because of Helen that he left. I mean, I think that I feel that way. Like, I think that she was the deciding factor. I think that he was going to follow her.
All right, that's cool. What do you think, Scarlett?
Yeah, I think the same. I think the same.
You think if Helen stayed, he would stay. If Helen leaves, he will leave.
Yeah. Because he loves her.
I want that man to get a spine. Community, what do you think? Community, chatters, what do you think?
How could being in love with her mean he doesn't have a spine? Although I don't know that he should be in love with her.
He doesn't have a spine. He doesn't have a spine. He's an inexperienced guy, right? He's not. I mean, we saw him like calling people for like. I think he's a little bit adrift. I don't think he has a strong opinion. I could buy that he's swayed by Helen, but I don't think he's like, I'm in love, let me just follow her. That's dead. I don't buy. So the Demonet says, I don't buy Daniel abandoning his sister when she's in this trouble.
The thing is I don't think
Daniel has ulterior motive.
Yeah, sex with Helen.
I do think that's interesting. If you go to his next comment,
Neo says it is now a date.
Yeah, it's now officially a date. But no, I meant Demonette's other comment here. I thought maybe they told the congressman to keep her close.
Oh,
that's interesting. I like that. That is interesting. But
like he's actually like wait, let's Jamie really quickly. So I understand what you're saying. Just let me understand what you're saying, that he's actually aligned with Per Stinson and Laura Innes and whoever, but they told him to go with Helen. Like he's actually.
I don't know if he could be that convincing from what I've seen of him in the show.
Yeah. I like the idea. I think it's interesting. I don't know that I think that, but I think it's an interesting idea. That's kind of cool. But I don't know. I also don't think he's abandoning his sister. I mean, they said they didn't have to live in the silo. They just had to live like within 30 miles or whatever. So I don't think I think he's going to still see his sister. He's just not agreeing to be part of this thing, right? At least that's how I took it. I don't know.
Yes, I do get the feeling with creepy Dr. What's his name?
Yeah.
That they are trying, I feel like they are trying to separate Daniel from Charlotte. I don't think they're trying to. They're like, Daniel, come hang out and let's get your sister to have more memories of you. Like they're not trying to bring them together. I think they're trying to. They're not. Are they trying to separate them? They're not trying to bring them together. I think there's a thing that Charlotte is maybe a little more important, and they're trying to separate them.
Maybe.
I mean, Demonet also thinks, like, here is that fellow conference keeper close. We already talked about that. The doctor is so creepy. I'm sorry. Is the doctor creepy or is it just me?
Yes.
No, the doctor's creepy.
There's something going on there. There's something, I don't know what, but yeah, I don't trust him at all.
I don't trust the guy. I would not trust a guy who's like, my wife died. I was so sad that I decided to invent a drug that would make me forget my wife ever existed, so I wouldn't like. And then he's like,
it's his daughter, not his wife. But yeah,
right, but he wanted to forget the car accident and forget his grief and blah blah. And I like, it's a very extreme reaction to grief, and I
don't know. I've never lost a child, so I
like
can't.
we've talked about, we talked about this in other shows also, like Dark Matter, like working through the grief is part of being a person, right?
Yeah. Lilu had agreed with me and said thinks Daniel would have stayed, or if she stayed, if
Helen would have stayed.
If Helen stayed, Daniel would have stayed. I'm not reading it.
Says, I think he wanted to leave. If they both stayed, he would have stayed. So the trick is he wanted to leave. But if they stayed, he would have stayed. He wanted to leave. But
yeah, I do think he wanted to leave. I didn't think he wanted to leave. I just think he left. I think more than anything, he followed Helen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, can we just go to? He's a super creep. Super creep. Now.
And yes, the breathing exercises were creepy.
Yeah, that was creepy too. Yeah.
But Demonette says there's no way I'm leaving my sister when her memory is troubled. All Daniel knows is that the doctor lied to him at the beginning. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is he leaving her? I don't think he's necessarily leaving her. I think he's just not agreeing to be part of the Silo project. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but that's how I took it. Like, I don't think he's necessarily ditching his sister.
So Jamie, you're correct. Like, they never said if you leave, you can never speak to your sister again. Not that we saw. Right? Like,
because he said they don't have to even live in the silo. So I assume she's not going to live in the silo. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she will live in the silo. But they said this whole thing about like you can live 30 miles away from the silo or whatever.
No, but only if you're in. Only if you're in with us. If you're not in with us, you don't get.
Right. But I'm assuming that if she lives 30 miles away from the silo, they're not going to like say you're never allowed to see your brother. Was what I meant. Like I didn't take it as.
They never said that. That might be next, right?
I guess that's possible, but I didn't take it that way.
I don't think she cares if she sees her brother. She doesn't really remember her brother in the same way she remembers her, right? Like,
right, but I don't think he would completely leave her. I agree.
I feel like when they changed the memories, they kind of severed that connection. And we saw that with Juliet, that like when she forgot, it's been a lot for her. She still doesn't feel for Shirley what she used to as a BFF, right? Like she doesn't really, like Juliet's emotions are not there yet. And I feel like that maybe is what they've done to Charlotte. Like Charlotte's like, yeah, you're my brother and I kind of remember you, like you were okay, but she doesn't really feel like love for him or connection to him, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But I feel like when you sever that memory, you sever that connection, and maybe that is part of the goal here. Maybe not ultimately the silo, but right now, like let's like not let these people be, right? Like I feel like they definitely want to separate Charlotte from Daniel. I don't know. Anyway,
all right. Either way, you could be right, but I do agree. I don't think Daniel would completely leave his sister, but I don't know that it's saying he is. I didn't feel like it was.
Okay, but how did you guys feel right now about the smooch and the like, I want to be great good with you?
I mean,
he was trying to be.
What?
Sorry.
It was Daniel's kind of pathetic way of trying to be charming.
I thought it was a little spontaneous. Like I felt like the first time he said it, I'm not sure he even knew he said it. He's like, I'd rather get blown up than be.
Like he just thought it in his head and then said it again a second time because he. didn't realize that's how he felt completely, and he wanted to just smash.
I mean, she had said it. Like Helen had previously said, like, look, I'd rather get blown up and turn into goo than like live with you Morlocks. I'm out of here. But he says it in a much more. He's like, I'd rather turn to goo with you. Anything for freedom. Loved it. I liked it.
Good.
I liked it. I thought it was cute.
It felt to me like I saw that chemistry, and it felt real for me. Right? He's like, I'd rather blow up than and turn into goo with you, and she's like, wait, what? And they.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like we haven't seen it coming all along. I mean, this was like clearly on the horizon. But I liked it. I thought it was cute.
But his other choice is living with the trillionaire and the, political people down in the bunker.
I mean, yes, it felt like, to me, like it hasn't felt forced between them, and it did in this moment. Like we could have seen it coming for a long time. Yes, Jamie, we did. But in this little moment, it didn't feel forced or contrived.
No. Like I said, it was cute. I liked it. I wasn't surprised, but I liked it.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
I've liked how they're flirting all along. So, yeah.
Yeah, they're good together, these two.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have many babies for the silo.
Even though she's way too smart for him and he's kind of dopey.
Yeah.
To be fair, not all smart people marry smart people. But,
Fair. All right, so they kiss and they fly off on their helicopter. So I was reading a comment thread. I think it was on Vulture, the comment thread, and this person wrote, "I really thought the helicopter was going to blow up at that moment."
That'd be awful.
It just crashes into the silo. It's like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
It crashes into the digger.
They have to get, I'm telling you, they have to get the Pez dispenser there somewhere. They can't kill them.
Yes, you're right. You're right, Jamie. They have plot armor because the Pez has to go into the silo.
Yeah. I mean, could the helicopter crash and somebody finds it in the wreckage? I guess potentially, yeah, possibly that could happen, but I don't think that's where it's going.
And that Pez is in her purse right now, I think, right?
Yes. So her purse and her have to survive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Sweet but dumb. You're right, Louie. Sweet but dumb.
Yes. Cutie smoochie.
All right. So okay, so there's the helicopter fly away. And then back in the future, I guess, from that storyline, the present, whatever you want to call it. There's this thing with the sheriff talking to his wife about, I didn't have you. Like he's upset that he hasn't been close to his wife. I don't know, other than, that wasn't really story plot wise. That was just character.
I like them, but I didn't love that scene, but that baby is so cute. But
yeah.
Their story has not been, I liked their story better last season when they were like, she was a better character. They were more of a team. I feel like the wife has only been in like a haphazard couple of scenes, and that made it hard for me to care about this, right? Scarlet, you're saying,
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I think the only point to her character this season was that she was part of the rebellion so that they could, make him have issues. I think that was pretty much the only.
Yeah, but they didn't play that out, right?
No, they didn't, because she didn't get caught, so it didn't really matter in the end. And then the very end of the episode, I wasn't sure if Juliet went to them or they cut her off. I guess they cut her off, but it was a little weird the way they did it.
I think Juliet went there knowing she'd be cut off eventually.
Yeah, but they take Juliet away and throw her in with Sims, and Camille's like, "You made your choice." And look at the look on Juliet's face, though. That was like such like I'm going to kill you. I don't know. It's just a funny
look when she sees things, right? So I'd love to ask you guys what you think about that. Like Camille, Robert's in seclusion. She says, "Take Juliet to seclusion," but they don't go to seclusion. She goes in the. So what do you guys think that's about? Like,
I kind of wondered if she's going to put them in there together and like hope they say something and give something away, but I think they're too smart for that. So beyond that, I don't know, but I feel like that might be Camille's plan.
Scarlet?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Or she's just going to set it all on fire.
I get
Or try
that.
to kill them all.
I get that, but both Robert and Juliet should expect there to be cameras in their cell, right? So why would they say anything?
They probably wouldn't. But I do question why she's like, you made your choice. That was a little line
Well,
was a little
I think that's to Robert. Like, so
yeah. Like
So
I'm
what-
arresting her because you won't help me, I guess, is what that means.
so Lulu says she went knowing to be arrested. That's Juliet. She's going to listen in, which I think is Camille. I mean, I think when Camille says you made your choice, I feel like Camille's saying you chose whatever you're doing over me. I don't know what she's saying. Like,
Mhm.
is Camille saying you chose it over me? Because I feel like Camille chose the silo over Robert. So why
Yeah.
would she say that Robert should have? Is she saying like Robert, you chose whatever over the silo, or saying you chose it over me? I feel Camille's beyond a point where Robert should have chosen her. Camille's about choosing the silo right now. Is she saying that Robert, you chose Juliet over the silo?
I thought they meant that he chose the kids that Julia wants to save over his own child.
Oh,
Breaking point for Camille.
very interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was kind of like you chose your side and now you're both in prison. I mean, I didn't really think too much into it when I watched it, but I like that. That's
like that. You chose those other kids over our kid.
Yep.
Like that. I kind of wonder if is there more to Camille than look, and this storyline is not part of the book, so I'm not gonna say anything about this. I don't know anything about this, but is she saying like did she put them together because I don't know. I would like to think there's more to Camille and there's a deeper level that she's operating. She was so smart last season and so ambitious, and now she's become a pretty one note villain. Like I listen to the voice, and the voice tells
Like
me.
a James Bond villain.
She's like the voice told me, so I do it. And last season she was so much more complex, and
Yeah.
like could she have put them together in the cell to hear something, not to annihilate those two, but to stop the I don't know. I mean, we have a bunch of things here. Susie says, I think she's getting fed up with the robot voice and is pulling a fast one. Camille wants to know why Juliet wanted to go back to 17. She thinks Robert knows why. Yeah. She also realized that the robot voice lies. Yeah, all that is.
yeah, I forgot about that. Susie points out also she called out what it was red and mad like 2 other times this season. Yeah, earlier when it was red, didn't she say something like, is that because of me or you? She said something to that effect when she looked at it red. And like, I don't know, red me before it was red whenever its outcomes weren't aligning with what it wanted. But I don't know, it does kind of make it like almost like an emotion, like it makes it look mad. I mean, red does mean anger.
The anger, yeah, the anger
So
like
it makes me think that. I don't know. It's interesting though, but she did call it out, which is
Debbie says she asked it was a reflection of her mood or its mood. Is that what we're talking about with the red? Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of confusing. It makes me wonder because like if it's an AI, why would it have a mood, right? I don't know.
I love this comment, you guys. Lilu says, you ladies have Camille all wrong, I think. Wow. So we have her wrong because we think that she is in service to the voice, or we have her wrong because we are trying to give her a little leeway. I mean, I'd love to hear more.
Or we have her wrong because we think she's one note.
Yeah, right?
Or all the
Debbie says, I don't think it's AI. It does make me wonder with that comment. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
And anything for freedom says maybe that's the only cell. Could be that simple. They're out of room, so they just throw them in together,
They're
right?
out of themselves.
So if it's not AI, then it's like a literal voice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
how
a
they
human
make
voice, like there might be just a bunch of executive people in Silo 1 in a little office
Yeah.
rotating,
Yeah.
getting coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I don't
I
know.
mean, maybe the voice is kind of like a Wizard of Oz voice. That's like the voice everyone uses.
Yeah, the man behind the curtain. We said that before. She's trying to find out how Juliet will stop the safeguard and the AI won't tell her. Well, she does say, like, I can't help you prevent the safeguard if I don't know what the safeguard is. Like, it won't. She does seem to be trying to get info, so I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Camille is Martin. Yeah, Camille's Martin. That's the answer. And it is manipulative, Debbie. You're right. And an AI shouldn't be manipulative. So that's a good question there.
And yet,
it is. She's not a villain. She's a
time
mom
and
trying to
place.
keep her son from dying, but she also questions the AI. Maybe she hasn't questioned it enough then. Maybe that's our issue. Because I kind of like I get what you're saying, but I do feel like she's become an annoying villain, and maybe it's just the way they're doing it. I don't know.
I agree.
Debbie says, I've been thinking it's somehow an amalgamation of people.
The voice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of agree, Jamie, that she's become kind of an annoying villain, but maybe we need, like, not saying we, but if you look deeper, like Camille was so ambitious and thinking 10 steps ahead last season. And so could she have another thing going on, right?
Maybe. And maybe it's just annoying because like we did like her and now she's just kind of like following blindly. Like that's kind of the issue, and even willing to take away her son's memories. Like I think is the problem I have. Like she's not questioning enough. Why would you question something that will lie to you? Yeah, I guess what will be the point? Could be right.
I mean, not that we know. Like we also saw Bernard being pretty loyal to the plan until all of a sudden he walked out the front door, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to think that Camille, who I thought had a little more complexity last season, might retain that, and they're just not showing it to us, which is kind of uncool because I wish the writers would show us. But I'd love to see her come around in these last 2 episodes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know. Lilu says I think she's definitely 2 steps ahead, or wait, 1 steps ahead. I assume that was 10 steps ahead, probably. She's some steps ahead. Okay, she's some steps ahead. I'm assuming that was 10, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I guess 2 more episodes. That's it, and then we'll probably have 2 more years to wait. So
I feel like the past storyline with Daniel has way more than 2 episodes to go. Like, how will they finish that? Wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting to wonder if that's gonna be part of next season too. Like, I don't think that storyline's over. I thought it was gonna be, but I'm starting to question that now. There's also a little bit we didn't talk about where Shirley comes in and she's like, they've arrested Juliet. And they're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Oh, and Bernard says, we gotta blow up Judicial like we planned. And they're like, yeah, but Juliet's there. We can't. And he's there. And then Walker says something like, she would want us to do something, and I don't intend to live long enough to forget her, or something to that effect. So yeah, they might go through with the plan to blow up Judicial. I guess we'll have to see. I don't think Juliet's gonna blow up, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna blow up either.
Yeah.
Inkling.
But what their plan is going to be, I mean, maybe they're moved before that happens. Who knows? But I don't know.
So, all right.
All righty, guys. Well, we've gone on. The 3 of us have gone on a lot longer.
You don't have AJ rushing us. So,
yeah,
and it was a great episode. So,
yeah,
I mean, there were some problems, but this episode had some problems, but there was still a huge dump of information.
There was. So yeah, if you joined us, thank you. Please come back tomorrow at 10 Eastern for Fandom Access, where we have the Ark Dead City, Star Trek Strange New World, and Lantern. And I don't know if we ever intend to talk about Rachel. I know we had said we were going to and then sort of forgot about it last week. So maybe I don't know. And we'll be doing our X-Files.
Yeah. All right.
We'll be doing about the X-Files movie soon. And then Wednesday at 10:30, we have The Librarians, the next chapter. We'll try to have a watch party for that beforehand. And of course, we will have our next Silo watch party Thursday night at midnight when the episode drops. So make sure you join us then in our Discord. The link is in the chat. If you're not a member, you can get our schedule and all kinds of fun things there, including we have game nights as well. So
and then Dark Matter is dropping Friday, and we'll start covering that next week, right?
Yeah, we will be covering Dark Matter starting next week. I know we had figured out what day we were going to do, but I can't even think.
Yeah, it's way up on my messages. I was going to ask you again when it was.
I'm like, what did we say we were going to do? I know we're going to put it in Silo's slot later, but we're figuring out what we're doing for next week.
Yeah.
And we'll smack a bitch if they kill Walker. Me too. Well, Susie, Yellow Jackets is a while away yet, so watch
Yay, Yellow Jackets!
Yellow Jackets,
buzz.
November 20th. That is coming, but we have Dark Matter.
The whole time with Helen and Daniel, I was thinking Juliette Lewis's "Don't you believe in love?" line from the first season of Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited.
believe in love, Karen.
We have Dark Matter first.
Love it. All right. Good night, y'all. See you tomorrow.
All right, thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
What? You know what? When the sun goes down and the moon comes up, I turn into a teenage gray goo monk. Goodbye. Good night.
Good night, everybody.